Hello, hello to the YouTube crowd. How is everybody? Gotta adjust my phone. It's a bit better. Alright, Angie's 88. Ooh, how's it going, guys? Hey, Christy Sai, how are ya? How is life? Morning, flowers and things, how are you doing? How's everybody? I don't know the Brett Clementine. Hi, how are you doing? Alina Stacy, good to see ya. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning, Angie's 88. How are you doing? How's life this morning? Let's see. Spirit Clementine. Whoop, hope you're lovely. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm good. What will it take for me to do to be doing really well? Hey, all of Tree Leaves, how are you doing? Good to see you. Spirit Clementine. Citrine was the first one they were yelling at me, Spirit Clementine. But I probably multiple, honestly, if it's your first crystal. Citrine would be good. Amethyst and Black Tourmaline would be other good ones. And then, some runners-up might be Selenite. And anything green that draws to you. So I know that's a lot, but Citrine was the first one that yelled at me. Whoa. Charlotte, good morning, Charlotte. How's it going? Kari Bossy, hi. Hi, Kari from Vegas. Whoa. Morning, Mini VDM. General Austin, do you remember everything when you channel? So I typically, let's see, really depends, honestly. I'm there, I get to see the message, I get to hear, they're doing it through me, so I get to watch pretty much what's happening, and be present for it, I suppose you could say. Do I always remember everything? No. Do I remember key parts? Yes, but I usually have to go back and watch it if I want to remember everything. Good, about to dye my hair. Ooh, what color? That sounds cool. Good morning, Destiny. I was traveling last week, so I didn't go live, and then, I feel like it's been a second. How are you doing, though? How is stuff and things? Good morning, Liza. Ali Uzi 75. Hi, what are you doing today? So pretty much, I'm going to be doing just channeling readings for people. Oh, hey, Lacey. What did I say? No. 1 second. Okay, Lacey requested to be a moderator, so Lacey is a moderator. It always reminds me of the scene, I don't know if you guys ever saw Avengers Infinity War, but there's that scene where Iron Man, or Tony Stark, has Spider-Man on that spaceship. He's like, all right, kid, you're an Avenger now. That's what adding moderators feels like. So I'm pretty much just going to channel questions, I'm going to answer questions with my intuition, with my channel messages, with source and my guides, and then I'll pull cards for people if I'm guided to do that, and then anything general that needs to come through will come through anyways as well, for everybody. Good morning, Marina. Good to see you. Tiny Heathen, good morning. Wow, it's good to see everybody. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm not going to be able to keep up with the chat today. I can't usually keep up with the chat anyways, but... Oh, Jenna Austin, that is a long, that's a bit of a story, as far as how did I learn I had channeling abilities. Pretty much whenever someone asks me now or more recently, like, when did you learn to channel, my guides will chime in and be like, oh, you've been channeling your whole life. But essentially I was at this retreat, and I'd met people who were psychic and had energy work done before, so I was familiar enough with the concepts, but channeling was a new thing. And essentially I was at this retreat, and I'm not really Christian or metaphysical Christian, but this retreat at the time, it was early 2017, was more Christian leaning. And they were like, oh yeah, talking to God isn't just for people in the Old Testament, you can talk to God too. And I was like, what? And sure enough, I wrote a question to God and I heard an answer, and it wasn't my voice. And then when I kind of ventured more into this vein, which felt more true to me, with what I do now and what I'll channel through now, it just lent itself really easily to, like, still talking to God, I call it source now, talking to angels, talking to spirit guides. And so it just really naturally, I met like a ton of people who could channel at around the same time that summer afterwards. And then, hey Kylie, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in forever. How are you doing? Yeah, good to see ya. um, and so for whoever was asking about my channeling, yeah, and so it just I met a bunch of people who could channel at like the same time later that summer, and it just kind of it's something that started happening through me, and then it was just a journey over the next few years to like bring out more of the potential in that. Okay, Lacey, cool. Lacey's got it. Okay, so I know this isn't typically. I mean, I'll go back to that was a quick answer to that. I know I did a podcast with it's Brave to the Bone podcast with Tanya Gilberts where I talk a bit more about that story if you guys are interested. But I'm gonna jump back into. I didn't do that podcast. I was a guest on that podcast. She does that podcast. But I will jump back to Q&A, which is what this is typically about. And if we want to hang out, we can hang out too for a bit. But okay, so Q&A, anyone new here, is definitely the best place to input your questions. Otherwise, it just gets lost in the chat, and then it goes into the ether. I will say one thing that is good to keep in mind. A lot of the times, even if I don't get to your question, some of the answers to your questions or things you might need to be hearing are in answers to other questions, because sometimes my guides will start answering a question and delve into like general, not general advice, but advice someone else might need to hear as well. That's a bit more general to that situation. Two, even just asking a question about a topic, you're already putting that out there to the universe that you'd like that solution, that you'd like that taken care of. So even if I don't get to your question, it doesn't mean it was worthless to put it out there. It's something I want to say as well. I'd say that goes for every reading. It doesn't just have to be my readings and my channeled messages and answers to your guys' questions that I get as well. So, hi, I love your videos. When you channel your guides, I feel love from them. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I appreciate that feedback. I'm grateful to hear it. Deja asks, is Tristan serious about me and I'm overthinking? I mean, for the most part, yes. I feel like he's mostly serious. I feel like if he sees more, I don't know if you've been putting effort into it, but I think he might like to see a bit more effort if you feel like it hasn't been balanced. If you feel like it's been balanced, then don't overextend yourself or go too crazy about it. But he likes you. I think for some reason, I hear him like, I'm hearing he wants to see a bit more from you, so I don't know what that is, but you might know what that is. That might be a conversation you had. So back to the question that's actually in the Q&A here. Olive Tea Leaves asks, general advice, I feel kind of lost and stressed. Yeah, let's see what comes through for you. The first thing I'm getting is just to sit with yourself, and like even just taking time to breathe and just like letting that feeling happen with like the lost and stressed. It won't be forever. Like it's definitely a temporary phase. And there's definitely, I feel like I say this a lot, but it's always I feel like it's pretty much in a different tone. And I feel like it's going to hit a little bit differently in a better way, potentially, which is with some of the energies we're in and venturing into. Is like, there's a lot shifting around. So some people are going to feel a little bit lost for a little bit. You're not the only one. Olive Tree Leaves is what I'd say. But it's definitely one piece of advice that's been coming through for a lot of people when I'm channeling and doing readings is to go within. And we are coming out of that phase that was like a lot of this past month, the past few weeks, is what I'd say. So what else for you? I feel like one phrase they're giving me is, you know what you want, but you're not sure how to get there. So what would help you with that? Here's one thing they want to do. I don't think they want to overwhelm you. One piece of advice as well, any tiny action steps you can take towards your goals, I would do if you have any, even if it seems like a long shot. Like I would just, even if it's just like writing it on a note card, like what will it take for this to show up for me, and hanging it in your bathroom mirror or something like that. I feel like that would be something that helps as well. I'm also going to pull my cards. Let's see here. Okay, this explains a lot too. So Black Dragon cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. I feel like you're incubating. That's the words they're giving me with this card, is you're incubating. And so it's like sometimes you feel lost because nothing's happening, but you're not lost is kind of the message I'm getting. I feel like there's something that's supposed to grow from this period. Let's see. And maybe you haven't seen like the sprout of that yet, because like there's this little tree in the center, and that's what they're showing me, like waiting for like that sprout to happen. And I would be a little bit patient, because once things start to shift more collectively, you're going to be shifting right along with it, and you'll be going right where you need to go, is something they're saying as well. So anything else that would help you with not feeling lost? They're also giving this advice of like, try not to lean too hard on people that aren't dependable. Like if you have someone reliable and trustworthy, yeah, absolutely, go ahead and reach out to them, talk to them, lean on their shoulder. But people who aren't dependable for some reason might have you feeling more scattered, is another message. So anything else last second here? I feel like that's a lot of what I'm having for you right now, just in general. I would also, for some reason, I'm recommending like try to cultivate stability. I just pulled a quick tarot card. King of Pentacles popped out, and like they are mentioning, make sure you're with reliable people. And so Emperor came out reversed here as well. And so what was this about with the Emperor in reversed? I feel like that's also about cultivating stability. You probably want to be in a good way headed towards this. And if you feel like they're showing me this image, like you're standing there, and like you're standing on like two rocks, and one of the rocks gets pulled out from under you on your left side, and you're kind of balancing on one foot. They're saying like if anything happened like that in your life, that's kind of like the rug got pulled out slightly, or like you feel like you lost your balance, like that's gonna be restored. And because they just showed like a different rock replacing that first rock. Really interesting visual. But I'd say like weird message, like don't let the universe rock your boat too much. Like it's gonna be okay. Like the waves will calm down, and they're kind of showing me Six of Swords in my mind's eye. So I hope that helps, Olive Tree Leaves. Hope that gives some starting points that are helpful for you. I would breathe through it as well if you can. Psychic Anonymous, Kaden, will my wishes manifest heaven within 7? So I know the Q&A kind of can cut off. I want to see if you 7 days. Okay, you clarified it there. Will it happen within 7 days? Here's what I get. I feel like the energy will definitely start moving that direction. I feel like some of it will start to happen. They're like, extend it to 14 days. I'm like, okay. So if you want to extend it to 14 days, or be patient if it doesn't show up in that 7 days, it doesn't mean it won't happen soon, is something they're saying, if it's not like in that 7 days. So keep that in mind. I feel like some people, let's see, sometimes you can get away with putting a time frame on things, and sometimes it doesn't hurt. Sometimes you have to extend things a little bit and let the universe show you what the right timing is. But will those wishes manifest in general if they don't happen in the next 7 days? Yes, I get yes. So I feel like it's a high probability they'll happen, Psychic Anonymous Kaden. So I hope that helps, and that is what I get for you. So next question. So hey, 150 of you, how are you all doing? How is life for you today? Larissa Daniels asked, any guidance on the release of my EP next year? Yeah. So definitely, this is what I'm hearing. They're trying to build up to it. That might not be new advice, but like, it definitely helps when you have some sort of build up to the release. I did music for like 10 years. I was in a band. I literally, at 19, I moved from my home state 1,000 miles across the country to join a rock band, and we did an album and stuff like that. But as far as like guidance for you on your EP next year, anything like even like a GoFundMe, if you need any funds for it, if you want to help like with marketing, not a bad idea. I would also try to get your friends involved, Larissa Daniels. And like anyone who's supportive of your music or who you know will help you out, and just get them to try and hype you up as well. because like one of the big questions is like, who is going to listen to your music and where are you? Where are they? Excuse me. Yeah, where are you? But who's going to listen to your music and where are they? Is a question they're asking, and this is just the sentences they're giving me, and like, how can you get it in front of them? Oh, thanks for the shooting stars, Lori. That was cool. I saw a shooting star the other day actually, so it's really funny that's been a theme for me recently. But Larissa Daniels, going back to you. And like I would do this is gonna be standard. I would try to get it on all the platforms. Like I would get, if you can get the music on TikTok, I feel like that's huge. CD Baby, all the different platforms. Anything else? And like, it might not be a bad idea to try and like, I don't know what you've done on TikTok to try and build like a platform on TikTok or on social media regarding your music leading up to the EP release as well as something they're talking about, because then you have people who are into your sound and into your music, and they want to support you and help you out, and you can start to build a relationship with people that way as well. And I do my best not to sound clinical when I talk about marketing in general, because I feel like it's more about authenticity and like connecting with the right people and being who you are, and getting what you do to the right people, and more so than it is about like, because marketing to some people can be a bit of a dirty word. Like it's not necessarily about like swindling people, and like it's more about what value are you adding and who will benefit from it is pretty much it, or who needs something and how can I meet that need is more it. So I hope that gives anything new at all for you, but I think like a lot of it's going to be standard fare. But I would do the maximum. I would really put in the work to make sure that EP gets out to a lot of people when you release it, if you can. Because I feel like one thing I would do differently regarding things I've released, creative projects in the past, is I'd kind of just like work on it, and I'd be like, okay, put it out, get it out. And then like, it's just like nothing. Like there'd be people who were interested, but it wasn't as big of a fanfare as it could have been. I hope that helps. Let's see here. Next question. Wonderland. Is my guardian angel speaking to me with my pendulum? Honestly, the answer I get is it's more your highest self that's speaking to you through your pendulum. They can, and you can definitely talk to your guardian angels, or you could set the intention like, okay, guardian angel, please work through me in the highest and best ways regarding this pendulum. I think what my guides are saying is like, why though? It's really more important that your intention is you're just connected to highest wisdom, to source, to whatever would be highest and best for you to be connected with, like highest wisdom and source. And like guardian angels can definitely be a part of that, but it's more about like, am I connected to highest wisdom and getting the accurate information than like, am I connecting to this particular thing, is to me is what I get to say to you about it. So your guardian angel is always with you, is something they're saying as well. And of course you can be speaking to them like in a channeled sense. And they're always talking to you like through the universe around you, something they're showing me as well, like signs and synchronicities. And like whispering in your ears, and you might have certain like, oh, okay, interesting. They must have changed that for chat. Let's see. So that's what I get to answer that, Wonderland. I hope that helps. I feel like it's more about connecting to highest wisdom and the highest source. And if your guardian angel is a part of that, perfect, but they're always around either way. AKA Papa Bear, I feel I need to lay off TikTok for a while, yes? Yes and no. I mean, mostly my body pendulum is going yes, so overall the answer is yes. I would cut your time in half, at least, is what I'd say. Because sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming. There's a lot of information, or sometimes it's just like, sometimes you're just scrolling through. At least something I find I do is I need to get off the For You page on TikTok as well. Sometimes it's been a little bit rough lately for me, so I hear that. But I would say, yeah, I would listen to yourself on that one. I think some alone time would do you well. Oh, is Deja leaving? Deja, I hope you have a beautiful day if you're heading out. Yeah, no worries, Deja. Okay, so next question. Okay. Getting tipsy nails. When is your new book coming? I'm working on that. I'm working on editing that. Probably next year, honestly. I need to get on it. There's a lot of things I need to get on right now. But probably next year is when the next book is coming. And I can share the title. It's Manifestation Simplified, That or Better. And there's a really long subtitle that I love. And then yeah, so I don't remember the full title because I kind of like sat down and was having like a channeled moment with it the other night. But it's coming. It's pretty much wrapped up. I just need to go through it and just look through the words and make sure it makes sense, and we'll go from there. But anything for you getting tipsy nails? Yeah, they want a Mother Mary card. One thing, like Our Lady of Blessings Bestowed popped out from the Mother Mary Oracle card deck. Pretty much what they're saying is I would make sure you're asking for blessings. Give me 1 sec, I need water. I'll be right back. I would make sure you're asking for blessings. And I would also ask for more than you've been asking for, as something they're sharing with me as well. Like I wouldn't keep your manifestations small. I would like 10 times them. It's just a quick recommendation, because like I feel like sometimes when things start showing up, you're like, oh, I could have asked for more. That's just something they're talking about as well. They're talking about going a different direction as well. And like they're talking about, they pointed my eyes to this red cloak, and there's a practitioner I would get readings from and that I will go to when I'm guided, named Anna Anthony. She is awesome. If Anna Synergy Healing on Facebook for anyone who wants to check her work out. But one thing she told me in one of her readings, I'm pretty sure this concept came to me from her, is like if you want to repurpose a new item, or like you got something from a thrift shop or someone gifted you something and you're like, oh, I want to repurpose these energies, wrapping it in red cloth is a way to do that. I can't remember if that was Native American or shamanic is what she said. But they pointed my eyes to this red cloak, and they were talking about repurposing, and then that message that they wanted me to jump to from there was going in a new direction. But I feel like this is an internal process, actually. I feel like it's like viewpoints on the world. And things that shift things internally so that like your external world is like brighter and better is pretty much what they're talking about. So what would that be? I mean, honestly, they're pointing me more towards like the solar plexus and personal viewpoints is what they're showing me. Solar plexus definitely about willpower. It can be about manifestation, like how you're showing up in the world is one thing they're saying. It's part of that. I feel like the whole chakra system is about that, right? But what more particularly? I think the more you're sitting with your viewpoints that you have on things and sitting like, okay, is this mine or someone else's? And the more you're getting clear on what's true for you, I think the better your world is going to be, is something they're going to say. I feel like there's opinions around you that can potentially cloud things for you, or just like it kind of colors your viewpoints in a way that I don't think you even like it, as something they're saying. So I'd watch out for that and be like, okay, like what's truly true for me, and how can I get clear on that? That's something they're talking about. They're giving this message, and this came through for one other person as well recently. Our Lady of Sacred Waters came through, and I'm hearing the words water healing. Excuse me. So any type of intentions you can put into your water before you drink it, or like your bathing water or your shower water, I feel like that would help be shifting for you as well. And it could be as simple as you're praying over your water and you're like, okay, universe, source, angels, bless this water, bring it to the highest and best state for me. I said it has all the energies that would be for my highest good, and any blessings that would be for my highest good as well. Thank you. And then you're kind of leaving it up to the infinite intelligence and universe to like just bring whatever you need energetically through that water. I feel like that will help shift things as well. And so third card here is Our Lady of the Star Blossom, and there's these flowers on the card, and they said blossom. I didn't realize blossom was on the card. So what's that? One thing they're talking about is like your heart is opening. or you're learning to expand your heart as something they're talking about. They're putting my eyes to these flowers on a robe, and they're turquoise. It reminds me of Amazonite, the crystal. And so what is this about? Because it reminds me of, there's a book called Crystal Angels 444, I think. It was by Alana Fairchild. I don't have that book anymore, but I remember there was this exercise that this kind of, it jumped into my, they put it in my head essentially when I saw this color on her robe that I was just talking about. And it was this whole exercise where like you're floating in this ocean, and it's this Amazonite green like water, and it's this like heart healing, and it's this throat healing. So what is this? What are you guys getting to? I feel like your heart and throat are opening, so you're going to be speaking your truth more, is pretty much what they're getting to. Maybe it's worth checking out that book if it draws to you, if you want to. I'm going to leave that up to you. And this is, I feel like this is for everyone, but this card popped out, and it was funny. I have a funny story about this card. But this card popped out yesterday, but I feel like everyone is growing. This was very specific for someone yesterday when I was doing a Zoom coaching session, and it popped out at a really funny time. I also get this message, there's these veils on this card. This is more general. It's like the veils are lifting. This does apply to you as well, getting tipsy nails. So I would pay attention to your gifts expanding as something they're saying. Hope that makes sense to everybody. Hope that helps getting tipsy nails. All right. Oh, Texas Jess is here. Hi. And Little Moon is here. Hello. Prince Priestess is here. How are you doing? Love you guys. Everyone, I'd like to say a big thank you to Lacey Marie, who volunteered as a moderator. So she's really cool. So everyone be very kind to her and show her some love, I'd say. I think Deja took a break. And Texas Jess is here as well. Also a really cool moderator that I appreciate. So everyone send some love for the mods when you can. Destiny Adara. Aw, we love you, B. Thank you for doing these. Aw. You're welcome, Destiny. I appreciate you. Destiny Adara asks, is my third eye opening more? Yes. Been so tingly. Yes. I feel like there's a big expansion. I also feel like there's a crown chakra awakening happening with you. It was already awake. It's just like, it's going further is pretty much what I'm getting. I feel like your whole chakra system is boosting is something they're saying. Like there's a lot of light. I feel like there's a lot more light running through you. I don't know if you've got into energy work recently, or if you've been doing it, but it almost is like, it's almost like you're getting ready for something is what I'd say, Destiny. Some type of boost or like expansion or new phase here. I feel like you're getting ready to do more with your gifts is what I'd say, which is cool. So I'd say that's all very positive. But all that for that. Yes, your third eye is opening more. Yeah, you're so welcome, Destiny. And I get this message like you're gonna do great work essentially. So whatever you're looking at doing or getting into, I feel like you're gonna do really well with people. And you earned it. That's something they're saying as well. So I wanted to say that. So next question. Oh, who? 1 second. It's just scrolling through Q&A. Marina 74444. The first thing they were shouting at, thanks for the rose, Destiny. First thing that we were unless it's, I always add the kavit, and I don't think I need to, because usually they tell me it's not abusive anyways. But if it's abusive, yeah, I wouldn't stay. But they're saying like, the first thing they were talking about was staying for now. Like if you feel like it needs to heal, I would try to heal it. I feel like it's worth salvaging as well. If you feel like it's bad, or if you feel like that's what needs to happen, as something they're saying. What else in regards to the marriage? I'm not saying the person, like, here, let me try and like deliver this properly. I don't feel like the person you're with is dumb. That's not what I'm saying. But I feel like they've been dumb recently, and it's not like they're stupid or they're dumb. It's like maybe some of the things they've been saying, or like some of the things they were wanting to do is something I'm hearing. Like it's just like hasn't been resonating with you might be a better way to deliver that. But I feel like I feel like they want to work on things. I don't think they know how to fix everything. And I know it takes two to tango. I'm sure there's some things you could shift as well. But I don't feel like you're the main like issue is what I'd say either. I think that's more like, that's more stuff you guys are both working through is what I'd say. Weird message. I feel like it's worth building a bridge with each other. This is metaphorical to reconnect. I feel like you guys are meant to be together for a bit longer. And again, like if there's abuse, I would not stay, but that's a lot of what I'm getting about that. I'm going to pull a few cards just in case. Which deck? I have like 5 decks over here. Oh, what am I doing? Which deck? Okay. Regarding your marriage. Okay, one thing, a piece of advice they want to give to you as well. This Explorer card came out. This deck is what is this deck? Threads of Fate, Lumen Edition Oracle. They have some really interesting decks. But this card, the Explorer, popped out. And one thing they were talking about with this card is it's like, I would look at your heart space and like sit and get really clear. And like, it's like asking the question, is this right for me? I feel like you guys are exploring options like, does this work is the question I'm hearing as well. I get this question. I hope this is all resonating, but I'm getting this question like, it's like you both want it to work, but you're like, how do we make it work? Because they're almost showing me it's not the Devil Tarot card, but it's like the Devil Tarot card. And it's like in the Devil Tarot card, it's like 2 people have these chains on and there's like a devil behind them. But I see like you guys, but you're both trying to go different directions with the chains. I feel like if you guys come from a heart-centered place, you guys can work it out, is pretty much what I'd say as well. And the Manifest card is popping out here. So the recommendation I get with this is like, so it's like the question, like, universe, what will it take for this to work out for the better? What would be the highest and best outcome? And like manifesting your way out of any predicaments, weirdly enough, is something I'm talking about as well. Weird message is like this Weaver card came out. I'm pretty sure in this deck, the Weaver is more about like taking the wheel, pretty much grabbing the wheel regarding your destiny. But the message I got is like the rain, like in these hands, they showed like rains going into these hands. And it was kind of like the direction of this is in your hands is something they said as well. And you won't mess it up is something they want to say as well too. But I wouldn't like cut it off just yet. So that's what I'm getting. If there was something more specific about it that you wanted, if you know, for your marriage, you can try to add that in, and I'll see if I can get to that as well. I know Q&A gets pretty stacked, but I hope that helped, Marina. I hope that resonated and made sense. They do want to give the message. It's not the end of the world if it ends. I don't feel like it's moving that direction right now anyways. It's just, I think it's a bit of a, I get this like, what do we do now question popping into my head. So I hope that resonates, makes sense, and helps for your situation. But I'd say heart healing is pertinent for that situation. Mia Junker asks, will I live in a big house one day? I'm getting yes. It's like if you manifest that, if you go for it, I believe yes. And I have my notes here. They pointed my eyes to the word success on this notebook that I have in front of me that I don't need to have in front of me right now. But that's like what the word was like. They pointed my eyes to it while I was saying that to you. But I feel like one of the words they're giving me, one of the things is like, but you have to take action, is one thing they're talking about it. It's like, what will it, like asking the question, what will it take for me to live in a big house one day? Or what will it take for me to live in a big house and get the most out of it? Something like that. Like, what will it take for me to live in a big house that I love, that I adore, that I cherish, that's perfect for me? You know, some question like that to the universe. it would be potentially a good way to like throw that out there to the universe as well. In the cards though, is what I'd say. It's in the cards. Uh, 333 VMD, am I on the right path? I get mostly for are you on the right path? I feel like there's a few like kinks to work out, and I mean that more in like a garden hose kink, not in a different type of kink. Please take that the right way. 333 VMD, am I on the right path? I feel like it's more like there's internal stuff you're working out, because they're showing like you, and like it's like these like, I understand what they're showing me, but it's very hard to describe the visual. So anything else? Here's the quick advice. The more you get clear on who am I and what am I about, the more you're going to be on the right path just inherently, because you'll just be less pulled around by like, oh, that looks shiny. Oh, that looks cool. And I'm not saying you're like, I'm not saying you're ADHD and you're like squirrel all the time, but that's just something they're giving me as like information to present to you. Who was that I caught there? Charlotte, Brandon, hi, what happened? Oh, was it about the garden hose? Not the inside joke I was trying to create today, but anyways, I need some water. The garden hose. Not the garden hose. I've been working on myself. Yeah, keep it up. You're headed in the right direction. I would just be patient. 333 VMD. That's more of like what I'd say. LMFAO, of course it was. Yeah. Hi, Brandon. Just joined. Hey, how are you doing? I recognize the profile picture. User 49010330. I recognize you. I don't remember the username. Brandon, the atmosphere in your lives are always the best. Your people are always the sweetest. Thank you, Little Moon. Well, credit to you guys for being amazing. But that's something I'm grateful for too, is you guys are fantastic. I'm so grateful for all the people who started showing up for these and who show up and are just awesome and really fun to talk to and do this for. So thanks for you guys for being awesome, and thank you, Little Moon. I do my best to bring the best energies I can, to bring the best energies for the lives, and I feel like you guys reflect that. I feel like you guys are the right people to show up. So thank you, and props to you guys for being awesome too. Okay, Prince Priestess. Any notes on negotiating for the new job? Let's see. The first phrase, and I'm gonna try and get it more detailed, and I'm gonna ask that it's a bit more detailed and not super amorphous. But they were saying like standing in your power. Try not to be desperate if you can avoid being desperate. Sometimes that's tricky. I feel like you'll get a lot of headway with that. I feel like, I don't know if they talked to you yet, but I feel like they like you or they will like you. Pretty much like the message is like, don't try to like, they keep giving, like, I know what they mean when they give me the word kowtow. I just don't think kowtow is the right word. Maybe it is, and I just don't know what kowtow means. But I would try not to acquiesce or like be overly subservient, if that makes sense. Like try not to look like a puppy and try to look more on your power is like pretty much what I'm trying to say. It's more like be cool, if that makes sense. Let's see what else, because they were giving me something else here. One thing they really want to say is like, hey, show you're reliable. So I'd say anything you could do to show you are reliable, just showing up on time or early, preferably. 15 minutes early would be great if you can. And if it's over Zoom, then of course like it's tough to like just like get on Zoom 15 minutes early and wait. But I don't know. You know, like there's those, I don't know if it even applies anymore, but there's those psychological tips that they used to have, like, oh, wear a watch because it shows your time late. It's things like that. It's like, I wouldn't overlook those things either. And it's not like you're trying to manipulate, because you are reliable. It's just like you're showing you're reliable, if that makes sense. Because would you be reliable for the new job? Like, I feel like, yeah. So that's what I'm getting as well. Anything else? Any notes for the new job? Okay, I'm gonna shuffle one more. Which card? Yeah, so they're like, just be you and you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, that's pretty, but that was something else they were saying. I mean, a lot of what I'm getting as I pull these cards is reiterating what I just already said. So anything else that would help you with the interview? There's one thing I heard from, it was something I believe Lee Harris said, he's a channeler. And it was like, one energy that might be good to go into a job interview with is like, okay, like if it's meant to be, like it's going to click and it's going to work out. And if not, like, you know, there's something else that'll come up instead. Is some like a good attitude that can help, because it takes the pressure off when you're like, okay, if it's meant to be, it will be, like it'll click, like we'll be on the same page, like this will flow. If not, like it's like not your job, pretty much is pretty much it. Like not your job, not your, so I would trust the universe and like how do things click and flow when you show up. And I guess it's kind of like a first date. It's like when you're going on a first date, or it's kind of like, okay, does this flow? Does this click? Like, am I trying to force this because I think this person's attractive and like trying to fit myself into boxes? Don't do that. It's like if it's gonna flow, it's gonna flow. If it's not, it's gonna not. Is pretty much something they also pointed my attention to as well on like job interviews, on dates. And like, you know, it's very difficult to force love. I don't know why this is coming through as well. Maybe someone needs to hear this. It's very difficult to force love with someone. It's like you could have someone like, and it's just like, try as you might, and it just doesn't happen. And then there's people where it's just like, you could just walk in with like gum on your shoe, toilet paper peeking out of your pocket. It just like, you didn't shower, and like it just works, and you're just like, what the heck? So that's something to keep in mind as well, is like there's a lot of divine guidance in where people end up and why, and the experiences they're supposed to have, especially people like you, and that's been coming through for people I've been talking to recently as well. So I hope that helps, Prince Priestess. Hope that gives any helpful advice at all. But I feel like you're gonna do great, is what I'd say. Besides that, oh, Brandon, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll be negotiating salary, etc. on Monday. Okay, yeah. I feel like you've already proven your worth. So thanks for the additional information. I honestly ask for what you're worth and see what they say. That's pretty much it. I feel like it'll be better than before. I feel like you'll get a raise. So cool. And you earned it. You deserve it. So sorry for. Hopefully I didn't like beat around that. Hopefully that made sense for what I was saying. What I was saying made sense for that situation as well. Help. What's going on with me and lights awakening? I need a little more info. Help. What's going on with me and lights awakening? Yeah, you are awakening. Is that what it is? So there's a couple things I want to talk about with lights, because I feel like if I talked to you, I'd have more of an idea of what's going on, but I have a few things jumping in mind that I can talk to that might be helpful. But what's the first thing I should talk to you? So I don't feel like this is exactly what you're talking about, and I feel like I have an idea. Can you guys give me more info on it? Okay, I think I know what to talk to. So the first thing, and I'll talk to a few things in case anyone else is curious about these things as well. First thing they're talking about is like pinpricks of light, if you see that in your vision. If that's something you're experiencing, that tends to be like a sign your spirit guides are around, or like a sign that they're with you, they're helping you, they're working through you. So that's something that they wanted to talk about first, is like a lot of the times if I have a conversation or if I'm starting to channel like messages on a piece of paper, or like I sit down to write a book, and like they're, I'll start to see those pinpricks of light as just another sign that they're around. As far as like lights flickering on and off, that can be a sign that like it's like a passed on loved one is around or helping. There can be multiple things regarding that, but that's a whole other thing. If you're seeing like just lights flashing in your room, like nothing you're going through regarding that is negative, is something they want to say, and like bring out about that as a part of an awakening process. Yeah, I feel like your third eye is opening is something they're saying as well. It's like you're becoming more in tune. I think you're becoming more aware of your spiritual faculties and like spiritual things around you. So anything else? And I know there's a little bit more I could touch on, like orbs. It's not orbs, I don't feel. I feel like there's more information coming your way as well. Yeah, I don't feel like it's negative at all. Did you give more info? I have very strange things happening with lights everywhere I go. Okay, yeah, like flickering lights can be like passed on loved ones. It can also be like, another thing is like, so what is going on with lights everywhere you go? I feel like one thing is like you are potent, and like sometimes when things like energetically potent are going on, it's like lights will flicker if something energetic happens that's potent. Sometimes it's just synchronistic. Sometimes it's like I remember at one point I was sitting with, this was like earlier on in my phase, not my phase, but getting into this stuff. And I was sitting with a woman who was a sort of mentor at the time for me. And like I don't know even what we were talking about, but I got this visual of like, I got this message and this really strong like vision. And I feel like it activated something, and I just felt this big energy, like I activated something and this big energy came like up. And like what happened was like when I was like, my eyes were closed and I came like up, and like when I came up and the energy kind of like, I don't know if it shot up or if my energy expanded or what happened. I'd have to double check in on it. And like the lights like flickered right when that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, what? So that can also be like a synchronicity as well. But a lot of it's spiritual is what I'd say, Jess Jemison. It's synchronistic, and it's has to do with your potent energy fields as well. Okay, next question. Okay, so I'm just going through. I'm gonna get some water here. Power Eternal S. Will love get better for me? I get yes, but it's in time. I feel like it's something you're going to have to work on. I feel like there's a bit of an internal, I guess struggle is a word, but what else? I feel like it's process that you're going through as well. I feel like that's healing old pains is something they're talking about. I would try to identify what are the patterns and what can I do to heal this in myself. And it's not always your fault. Like, of course, that's one thing they're saying, but it's like, what will it take for me to elevate? What will it take for things to shift so I'm attracting new and better and not same old, or not things that necessarily just hurt me. I get this message of like, be brave is something they're saying. Not all love hurts is pretty much the message they're saying. What else here? And one thing they're talking about, if you feel like you've been through a lot of hurt, or if you've been in pain recently, is like, let's see. They gave me a sentence, and I need. Please give me the sentence again. I lost the sentence. Okay, yeah, that's what they were saying. It doesn't hurt as badly the second or third time typically, like that heartbreak, like when you go through it once. I feel like I've heard a couple people say that I listened to, and I found that to be true as well. It's like the first one might hurt like a mother, and then the second one's like, it hurts, but I'm okay. But then like the questions come up like, oh, am I ever gonna find love? Like, why does this keep happening? Da, 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 da. Weird message. I would work on your throat chakra a little bit and like speaking up in relationships and almost just like being yourself. I would also try not to hide in relationships as advice they're giving. It's just kind of like this reminder to like work on yourself so you can make sure you're showing up and being yourself. If you're not sure where to start, you can be like, universe, what will it take for me to, if you feel like that resonates, what will it take for me to show up and be myself in relationships and find the people who resonate with that? Thanks for the sunglasses, Roche. But that's some of the advice they give for you regarding will love get better. So like the short answer is yes, it will, but work on you and it will get further better as well. And I feel like you've been doing the work is something they're saying. So any work you've been doing, I would pat yourself on the back. And like a lot of the pain you've been going through as well, I feel like it's just you haven't found the right people. That's something they're saying as well. So I hope that was helpful and made sense to you. And that's the short answer for that. I don't feel like you're stuck either, Power Eternal. I don't know why they're saying you're not stuck, but they're like, you're not stuck. Miss Ace 1. Is my health condition healing? I get slowly. It is, I know it's a bit of a journey. I feel like I've said this before, but it's what keeps coming through. I feel like it's something you're just going to have to take slowly and just keep trying new things until something like works. But I feel like it's multiple things that are going to help. I feel like there's multiple things that kind of combine to lift you out of the pain is something they're saying. Again, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, and your life choices are 100% your responsibility. 111 people here, 111, so... Oh, there's one. It said 112 once I said that, but I hope that helps. MS Ace. It's a slow process. I know it. I don't get it's an overnight fix. I would, that's just what I get, and I would hope I would hope it would be, but that's yeah. Water. Susie P. Carr, successful in your job? Yeah, for the most part. Sorry, I'm getting so 1 second. Here's what I get. If there is any struggle in the new job, I would push through it and you'll be fine. Susie P. Carr is one thing I'm getting. I feel like overall it's success, but patience is key, is something they're saying as well. So as long as you're showing up and doing the work, you'll be fine. That's what I'd say. Get another bottle, Brandon. Yeah, I will. I think I have a second one in back up here, but thank you. I might need to get a third one, though. You might be right, honestly. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Third ice. Why do I see children in my mind a lot recently? Let me sit with that for a second. So I heard the word therapeutic, but that doesn't make sense to me. So give me 1 second. I honestly, one message I'm getting is I'm getting the word rebirth, honestly. So I feel like that's something people are going through in general, but anything else about seeing kids in your mind? I feel like it is intuitive, honestly. I don't feel like it's random. I think it's more like, I feel like you're getting in tune with something and kids symbolize something for you is something I'm saying, like hence the word like rebirth is something I'd say. I would also pay attention to kids like in your external like world is something I'd say as well. So why is that? Another message I'm getting, this might be unrelated, is kids have an energy that you are seeking, and bear with me as a second as I explain that. It's like youth, it's like childlike, it's like inner child, it's playfulness, it's like it's joy. It's more like that. It's that wonder. I think in some ways you might find you're rejuvenating yourself to get to a better place, and that's something that's coming in. But I feel like there's a physical corresponding thing that relates to that as well. I think that's something you'll have to seek out as well, interestingly enough. So those are the reasons I get. Anything else? I feel like it's more of an intuitive visual, honestly. I feel like it's a very intuitive visual, so keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm just seeing some quick answers. Jamie Aiken, is my husband cheating? I get not fully is the answer. Is he full on cheating? I get no, he's not full on cheating. Would you be happy if you knew the whole situation? No. But I feel like it's something you're just gonna have to let play out. I wouldn't divorce him over it quite yet, is what I'd say, Jamie Aiken. Like you might want to investigate, but do it kindly and gently. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going through the Q&A here. Keep in mind, Q&A does not keep things in order, and also keep in mind there is a lot of questions, so I'm not trying to skip people if you feel like you're getting skipped. Let's see here. Kayla Marie Rose asks, anything on my relationship with Eric? Let's see here. So I get this visual. The first thing I see is like this is something that just talks about relationships. I feel like you're on this parallel path together, like you're kind of walking side by side. I see this kind of like divergence in the road, and you come apart and then you come back together, and the future is something they're showing me. So there might be a bit of a fork in the road where it's like your paths kind of diverge for a bit. But I feel like you guys come back together in the future after that is something they're talking about. So anything about your relationship with Eric. So I'll pull some tarot cards on that one. Whoop. Okay, interesting. Bottom card of the other thing. Hold on. Okay. Weird message, and like of course you kind of have to work with the other person where they're at, but the Magician popped out regarding this relationship, and they said you have the power to kind of create where this goes, and steer the ship. Of course it's a bit of a co-creation with like you, them, and the universe. I get this message of like with Eric, I would be blunt with your intentions is something they're saying. Is some advice for that situation, whatever's going on there. I get this message like he's resisting. Like, what's that about? Because like, we had like 7 of Wands, pop out here. Hey, Deja. So what's this about? I would make sure you're not forcing things on him, on Eric, as something they'd say, as there's something they're saying about it. If you feel like you have been, maybe back off a little bit. I feel like in some ways he can be a really great guy. Is something they're saying as well. So what more about the relationship? I feel like it's all headed in the right direction. You have 6 of Wands and 6 of Swords popping out. Some readers I've seen in tarot, they'll say 6s are actually really good numbers when multiple 6s pop out. As far as like my understanding of the number 6 with signs and synchronicities, not usually my understanding, but these cards are both positive. 6 of Wands is a card of it's victory. it's yeah, Six of Swords is a card of moving on to calmer waters and things not being so choppy. So what do I get with these cards? I feel like in general you're headed to better, as the message I'm getting regarding that relationship. I feel like your paths are meant to diverge in the future as well, with like the visual I was getting. But I feel like you'll always kind of be in each other's lives, for at least for a while, is something I'm hearing as well. If it's a love situation and it's not going well, like, let's see. I don't think it'll be heartbreaking, but I'm getting Eight of Cups, which is usually about walking away. I feel like this is more long-term talking about it. But I also have Three of Swords reversed here, which is good because it's like not heartbreaking. So can I get a message just to wrap up that situation regarding them? I would be very patient with Eric, is something they're saying. I do get that he means well. I feel like here's what I'm getting. As long as you're showing up and you're patient and you're kind of steering the ship, I feel like things are going to go well. Does that make any sense at all? I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure what the nature of the relationship is, but that was what I was hearing about it when I checked in. So I hope that helps. Yeah, it's definitely gone that way already. I'm hoping we come back soon. I am. He has PTSD, so I'm very patient with him. Gotcha. Yeah. So I mean, I was getting. I hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Letta Matsila, is Steven my soulmate? I mean, I get yes, one of many. And my definition of soulmate is like it's people we incarnate with over lifetimes. You're welcome, Kayla. I hope that helped you incarnate with over lifetimes together. So you have multiple soulmates, and soulmates can be your dog, soulmates can be your friends, soulmates can be your lovers, soulmates can be your parents, depending. I feel like, so the answer I get for Letta, for you, is Steven my soulmate, is yes, but there's more for you, is pretty much what I get as well. So I hope that helps. Hope that makes sense to you. Extra small popsicle. Do I need to end my relationship? I get that is coming. Here's what I get. So don't shoot the messenger. But I feel like that's coming inevitably, are the words I heard. I don't feel like it's gonna work long term. And I'm not here to just shoot down all y'all's guys' relationships. That's not what I want to do at all. That's just what I'm hearing about it. So what happens if you stay and try to heal it? I don't know. I'm not sure. Like it's weird because the visual I get is like puzzle pieces. And normally when they show me puzzle pieces, it's about how do two people fit together, or how do you fit in a situation. But in this instance, the puzzle pieces, it's like there's puzzle pieces, but it's like one is turned, so like the corner is trying to connect, and the corner of the puzzle pieces don't connect with each other. It's the slots, but like the corner. So it's almost like he's not even trying to connect with you, is the message I get or them. I'm not trying to assume this is a male-female relationship, but that's So anything else? I get not to stay, so I hope that helps. Extra small popsicle, that's just what I'm hearing. So I hope that helps. Red riding in your hood, Carly C. Will Kenny and I get back together? I get not likely on that one, Carly C. So I'm sorry for that news. I mean, that's just what I'm hearing. Can they get back together? I feel like if you do get back together, it's gonna be short-lived. I feel like you guys need to see other people, is what I get. Red riding in your hood. I love the username, by the way. I feel like it's meant to be with someone else, are the words I'm getting for you, Carly. I feel like in a lot of ways Kenny was great, but it's time to move on, is also the words they're giving me. And I'll pull a card for you as well. Bottom of the deck. Mary. 19, Our Lady of the Inner Gates. So what does this mean for Carly? The first thing they're saying for you is to cultivate your inner worth. I I feel like a lot of your desires can be met in life, but right now it's cultivating like your inner value, it's self-healing. I would pay attention to your root chakra as something they're talking about as far as like chakras you might want to look into balancing. I would also look into just with a practitioner you trust that if you can, like look into getting a Reiki session. If you can't afford a Reiki session, even just going on YouTube and finding like some of the Reiki videos on there, better than nothing. There's a couple pretty good ones that you can find, but that's something they wanted to mention as well. Or any meditations that are free, or any standard root chakra balancing things like guided meditations, something that might help. I get stability as a key theme for you, and what's that about? It's like finding stability within your core, and then finding more stability in your external life as well. I feel like that would be one of the main things to look at. Manifesting and bringing in would be the word stability. And of course, root chakra has to do with stability, security, and that can go with finance, feeling safe, feeling secure. So that's something to look into as well. I feel like if you've had a lot of circumstances that are heartbreaking, Carly, it's gonna turn around as something they're saying. It's not gonna be your whole life where it's just like heartbreak after heartbreak. There is definitely hope. And they're giving this message for you as well. I did shooting stars have been showing up for me a lot as a theme. But they're saying to pay attention to shooting stars as a message for you, and it doesn't literally have to be a literal shooting star. It could be, so you scroll up on TikTok and a shooting star shoots across the screen for the video, or something like that. So just pay attention to that as a sign. So anything else that would help you? I feel like this is the time with this Our Lady of the Inner Gate card. The message is this is the time to go within and heal what's going on inside of you. That's a lot of the messages I get right now. But there's a lot of hope for you if you do. It's pretty much the message I'm getting. And I'm not saying like what's the message here? You're not like a messed up person. You're just working on you. So I hope that helps, Carly. I hope that makes sense regarding all that. He checks up on me still and doesn't want to let me fully move on. I would do your best not to get hung up on him. I feel like he means well, but I don't feel like he's going to be back around for the future. Long term is what I get. I just get he's not the one. And I know the one is can be a bit of a misnomer, but sometimes that's just the message they want to bring through, just to be like, hey, just so you know. So it's like, is there a potential for you to get with him in the future? I don't feel like it's in a way that you would like, is one thing I'm hearing. I don't know why, but that's what I get. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. And of course, like your life in your hands. I'm not here to tell you you have to do this or have to do that. That's just what I'm getting. I like, you can try to make it work. I just don't get that it's the best long-term option. And I'm sorry if that's news you don't want to hear. I'm sorry if that's not what you wanted to hear. That's what I get. And but you're more than welcome to check up with other readers or other people. That's just what I get. That is what I get. So guys, keep in mind, Q&A is very rando. It's just, I have just a huge list of questions and they're not in order, and it changes up every time I open it. So I'm not trying to skip anyone. Very difficult for me to do these in orders. If you look at how many questions I get when I do one reading or one question, I think you'll realize it's very difficult for me to do everything. So doing my best here. Please be patient. I can't promise I'm going to get to everyone is another thing I want to say. Dina Molly asked, I'm caught between spiritual gift, job, or business. And also keep in mind, I do answer these questions as I'm guided to. So I'm definitely not trying to skip people. I'm just going with what my guides want me to answer. I'm doing my best to. So Dina Molly asked, I'm caught between spiritual gift, job, or business. So let's see. I feel like you need to do business. It needs a strong word, but that's the message I got, was business would be a really good option for you. I I would go with your gifts is something I would say. I think that's something you can cultivate and something you'll always have as well. So if you have to do a job temporarily, like that's fine. You'll still have your gifts and you can still cultivate what you need to on the side. But I'm leaning towards business regarding what this question is referring to. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers that for you. I hope that makes sense as an answer. Shori Mbaro asks, will I relocate to my hobby in America? I feel like that's a high likelihood. I mean, my body pendulum's going to yes. I'm getting highly likely. I feel like it's a good idea to do that. Let's see. Would it be in the highest good for you not to do that? I don't know if it'll work forever if you don't. I'm not trying to light a fire under your butt or put pressure on it. But I would try to move if you can. Is what I'd say as advice for that. I feel like it's worth moving for that. Next question. Sam I Am asked, I didn't answer this, did I? Am I on the right path? Thanks so much. So is Sam I Am on the right path? I feel like there's a path that would better suit you. Excuse me, so what would that be? If you've ever been drawn to tarot or some type of work like that, I would look into that Sam I Am as something that they're saying. But something that's more in your veins, maybe something more creative. Make sure you're doing what you feel called to do is the main message that I want to bring through for you, Sam I Am. Because it's like, because you're not on the wrong path. And I think sometimes, let's see. Here's what I got. You're going in the right directions, but you need to hone it in a little bit more and perhaps bring a bit more focus onto your path. As far as like maybe even ask yourself, okay, what would be highest and best for me to be doing right now? What would be highest and best for me to be focusing on right now? What would be highest and best for me to like do today? And like start asking those questions and getting your day to day to line up with your future goals and dreams. I feel like you're doing that, or you're trying to. And what do I mean by that? Is like it's kind of like if I sat down, if I stopped posting on TikTok, if I stopped going live on TikTok and I just disappeared and sat and ate Cheetos, I'm not saying you do this in my bedroom all day, I probably would not keep a lot of traction with doing readings for people and with doing this for you guys and doing what I want to do. So it's like, in a lot of ways, it can be helpful to make sure our day-to-day actions are lining up with where we want to go in the future, if that makes sense. So for me, if I want to keep growing what I'm doing and to keep offering what I want to offer and build a lot of the things I want to build, I have to keep posting on TikTok. I have to keep going live. And I'm sure there's other ways. Maybe I could switch to YouTube if I was like, no, I don't like TikTok. But I'd have to move things in that direction continually. And like, if I want to get fit and not grow a belly, I have to, eat healthier foods. I have to start exercising more. If I want to keep my muscles, I have to start exercising more. I actually have to start exercising more because I that's something I need to do. That's something I need to start doing more. So that's something I want you to keep in mind as well for your life. You got to put the work in to get to where you want. And I think there's just like, I think it can be a little overlooked. It's like a lot of the people like who are successful, it's like if they sat around and did nothing, like maybe like 1 in a million, like the universe is just like, we'll make you successful anyways. I just don't feel like it's always likely. It's like you're increasing the chances of your success by taking that action. I don't know if you need to hear that or if someone else needs to hear that, but something they want to bring through for you is like, how are my daily actions and like where I'm putting my efforts lining up with where I want to go in the future? And if they're not, how can I start to gently shepherd things in that direction? Without freaking out and blowing up my life is something I want to recommend. So like one thing I want to say and kind of end this out with is you're gonna be on the right path is one thing they're saying. I do feel like you're meant for more. than just like an average mundane kind of life is something they're saying as well. Just make sure you're taking action. And try not to put yourself through things that are rough unnecessarily as well. That's something I'd say. Oh, you're welcome, Sam. I am. You're welcome. I'm glad that helped. Diabell, will my long distance relationship work out? I feel like it's yes if one of you guys is willing to move. Will that be your forever person? Here's what I would say. I would give it a shot. I would make sure you guys have a game plan to move. And I would let the universe take it from there as well, as far as showing you guys, like, is this the best option for me? Is this something that's supposed to work out? Because one thing I'm toying with is, like, I think sometimes it might be better to say something like that instead of yes or no. Because I think sometimes there's a lot of things you could learn. 'Cause it's like, will it work out long term? Because I think there's a lot more you can gain from a relationship than just will it work out in the end. Does that make sense? I want to offer that piece of that advice as well. But I mean, if you guys like the yes or no's, I can keep going with it. Okay. Will my Xbox from Wendy's regret letting me quit? Not so much as you might think, but I think I would get a new job. I think I would say congratulations. I would say that probably wasn't the best place for you. I think you deserve better. Deja is one thing I get as well. Too Meloy. Hope I'm saying that right. Asked. Thanks for the water reminder, Little Moon. Sure, okay. Holistic health Reiki business a good fit for me? Yeah, but I think you need to expand that, incorporate other things. Like, I don't know if you're into Akashic Records readings or readings like that. I think the more the merrier on that front. And if you incorporate herbalism, if you're into that, that might be a good idea too. Just some of the things I'm hearing. To Melo Moloy asks, is T the one? I get no. I feel like he's a one that would, or they, sorry, I don't know if it's a he, they would be a one. Let's see, that would be a good option for a while, but not the best option for, the rest of your life is what I'd say, or for forever. But it's worth sticking out if you disagree, is what I'd say. And like, to clarify, there's multiple aligned partners that could be long-term for you, is something they're saying. I feel like in sometimes for people, there's not just the one. I feel like it depends on the person though, and just kind of how life is moving. But I would trust that everything's always working out in the right ways. So I feel like T is a good option for now, but not the one is what I get, is what I hear. Hope that helps. Lolo Angel Fairy 444 asks, what do I need to hear from my guides? They're immediately in my mind's eye showing me 6 of Swords, and they're giving me this message. My gosh, it's a visual and it's words and it's a whole thing, but it's like move along. So what does that mean? I would try not to get stuck in the past. I think that's been advice that's been going around for people recently. From my guides, but I feel like it applies to you as well. I would try not to get hung up on people who haven't treated you right. And I would do your best to not let yourself get into similar situations as in the past that weren't for your highest good, if that makes sense, is something that I'd say as well for you, Lolo Angel Fairy 444. I'm gonna pull Mother Mary card. Oh, sorry, this card. Okay, so I went to pull a card from one deck, but a card from the other deck kind of jumped over and I couldn't, it just got in the way. So this is a card, Lilac Fire Dragon, transmutes through the power of divine love, open up to transcendent love and enlightenment, purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. So what is the message for you? Here's the message I got. Through transmuting the old, you are blossoming, are the words they're giving me. And it makes sense because there's these flowers with this lilac, violet flame type energy going on. I feel like by sitting with past lessons and healing with them, you're really preparing yourself for the better that's meant for you. And the less you let people treat you poorly, let's see, the more you're going to have people who treat you well. One, it opens up space for people who will treat you well if you're not really leaving as much space in your life open for the people who don't treat you well. And that can be very much a boundaries message. I think sometimes we have to be, I don't know if careful is the right words, just make sure you're using your boundaries appropriately and not like, it's like, yes, you have the sword of setting boundaries in a way that works for you, but I wouldn't use it as like, what's the phrase? I don't think this applies to you. I think this is more general, so I'm going to skip that because the words are not flowing when I try to say that. So what else for you? No. Second card. Okay, 10, Our Lady of Creative Choice showing up for me. They just told me to pull the second card on the Mother Mary deck, and that's what I pulled. I get add color into your life. I feel like creativity is something that would be good to bolster and utilize at work with more, and bring in more. I would make sure you're going your own routes in life, and that can look similar to other people's, that can look wildly different. Just make sure it's yours is pretty much what I'm getting. Try not to follow the crowd is also a message I'm getting, like if there's creative endeavors or like anything, any projects or just anything in general at all. Make sure what you're doing is yours. Like make sure, like I get this message of like, make sure it's yours. So anything else for you? They're also showing me peacock with this card. Like there's a lot of peacock colors on this card is something they're showing me as well for you. So what is peacock about? One thing they're talking about is one way to build confidence is to take inspired action and to see the results, if that makes sense. And like confidence can be something that you build over time. So it's like by taking action and seeing the results and seeing the feedback, you start to gain confidence in that thing is pretty much what I'm getting. So I would keep that in mind as well. I hope that helps. Oh, there's more. Bottom of the tarot deck. I get this message of don't go back to where you were, because they just told me to look at the bottom of my tarot deck here, and the Eight of Cups was still there. I didn't know what was still there, but that's what was there. I just like, if there's something that's not serving your highest good, I would walk away. Like if something has just been pain after pain after pain, or if you felt like you've been put on ice or anything like that, they're showing me ice. And just make sure you're not staying stuck with people or someone who's not treating you well. I feel like there's new people on the way that will treat you better. I don't know why that message keeps wanting to come through, but that's what I get for you. Hope that helps. Hope that resonates. Hope that makes sense. Lolo Angel Fairy. I like the username, by the way. Yep. Okay, anyways. Hope that helps you. But you're great, though. That's one thing they're saying. Like, okay, they're scrolling through the Q&A. Okay, what's going on in chat? I haven't looked at the chat. You're welcome, Lolo Angel Fairy. Hope that resonated and made sense to you. Okay, guys want me to answer Snickstack. So, Snicksnack 503, I am lost, you are lost. Snickstack 503 feels lost and confused and wants to know, how do I find what makes me happy? I feel like that's going to be a bit of a journey. I feel like you're going to find joy in the new is one thing they're saying, Snicksnack. And so what do they mean by that? You might have lost your taste for a lot of the old things in your life is one thing that they're talking about. So it's like, it's kind of like bread that's gone stale or crackers that have gone stale. So I feel like trying new things or like exploring things you've always wanted to do but haven't done yet that maybe you were scared to do I feel like that might bring a bit more spice and variety into your life. And the one thing they're talking about is happiness can be a bit of a journey. And I feel like I know what you're talking about. For some reason, they want me to provide this information because I was talking to a reader. I give her shout outs, Anna Anthony, at one point, and she was talking about joy and happiness, joy versus happiness. And one thing she brought through or said to me and in this reading was like, happiness can be fleeting. It was just a way to differentiate it. Like happiness can be like, oh, I feel happy, and then it's gone. Whereas like joy is more that long lasting, like everlasting, like it's that, I almost want to say it's like it's always there. It's like this undercurrent that's always accessible to us, or that's something you can bring forward in your life and live joyfully in. I know what you mean, though. I don't feel like you're seeking temporary satisfaction. I feel like you want more long-lasting, like stronger energies of joy. But those are things you can build by like incorporating, like asking like, where do I feel joy? Like, is it when I sit with my coffee in the morning and just sit and be? Is it with my tea? And it's like giving yourself more of that and more of those things that you know will bring that joy energy in, and then like cultivating that. What would help you shift your life though in the highest and best ways regarding all that? I would get into spiritual work, Snicksnack, of some type if you haven't. Like, just that's something they're talking about is like if there's spirituality that you've wanted to delve into, or like something you've wanted to check out, like I would start looking into that, whatever interests you. I feel like that will bring more joy and more connection and more like purpose as well as something they're saying if you haven't already delved into that. But that's something they're saying for you in particular that might help to bring more of a long-lasting happiness. Because in some ways, some of it is a perspective rearranging. And I'm not saying life has been easy. You just need to change your mind about things. That's not what I'm saying. It's more like doing the healing work that rearranges those things for us. And you know, gratitude practice always helps move energies in that direction as well. So anything else for you? I forgot the original question. I've just been bringing through what they say. Brandon, we need a live where you just hang out in the chat. Okay, you're the second person who said that, so I'm going to do that. And you know what? If you guys want, we can turn this live into that, or I can do that. I can do that this week at some point, because I feel like, or what we can do is split it into two, where we do like channeled Q&A at one point, and then hang out in the chat the second. You're welcome, Snicksnack. I hope that helped. So what would be highest and best? Should we do a hang out in the chat? Okay, everyone wants to hang out in the chat, so let's hang out in the chat. Let's do it. So I'm so sorry if you asked a Q&A. And so I don't know how we're gonna do this. So I think if I'm guided to like answer a few questions that are quick, I'll do that. But I'm so sorry to anyone who's been hanging out waiting for a question. I'll say it really quickly. Like, I do personal readings. Those are available through my link in my TikTok bio. So if I didn't get to you, if it's something that's in your affordability, I can, I do personal readings that way. Other than that, I think I'm going to start adding in more general lives and readings for people, just because I feel like that can get some of the answers and information they need that I can't always get to everyone individually in the Q&A, is something I'd say. Gotta go. Maybe I'll try with the Q&A next time. Absolutely. Well, I hope you have a good day, Sylvanson. Is Adrian my twin flame? I get no. There's some twin flame energies, but I feel like it's more that shake up, wake up aspect to it that's trying to help you. Okay, so hang out. So someone asked, Destiny asked, what if I have any plans for the day? No, I didn't sleep super well last night, so I was gonna try and take a nap. But besides that, I think I really feel like I need to be working on more projects, and I haven't been like doing as much work as I feel like I need to. So I want to start getting the energy moving in that direction again too, if that makes sense. How was your Texas trip? Texas trip was okay. That's a whole story. Because it was, it's a whole thing. Because you could say Brandon did a little bit of a silly. You could say I did a little bit of a silly, because it was like I have my lease is up here in November 30th in my current apartment, and I keep getting not to resign, but I'm like, I don't know where I'm going yet. So I took a trip to Texas because there was someone someone I was interested in that moved there, and I was like, oh, maybe I could just, make that work. And so I took a trip down there. One, I wanted to check out the area. Two, I wanted a bit of a vacation. And three, I wanted to hang out with this person. And it wasn't bad. It also just like wasn't it, if that makes sense, in any capacity. And I really enjoyed Austin. I thought it was a really cool city. I liked the area. I would say it didn't all go as maybe I had hoped it would in every other regard, but it wasn't a bad trip. So that's what I'd say. Texas trip would have been better if you came to San Antonio to chill. Just saying, oh, if I'd known, I totally would have. That would have been fun. I would have hung out, come to California. It's funny because a friend said Elk Grove, to me randomly, as far as not saying that's where I have to move. There's an Elk Grove, Illinois, but I know there's an Elk Grove, California. So maybe, Gina Nazareth, am I divinely guided? Yeah, but it's something you're uncovering more. It's I think you're still learning what that looks like, what that feels like to you, and growing into that is what I'd say. San Antonio. What cracks me up is how many of you guys are from Texas. Isabella, why is Gabriel taking so long to open up to me? They will. They've just been hurt in the past. I would give it a month or two. I would just keep showing up. I feel like the safer of a space you create, the more they'll open up, is something I'd say as well. You've lived in Colorado before, right? I'm considering moving to Fort Collins area. Yeah, I did. It's weird because Colorado's been showing up to me as another possibility as well. I keep seeing Colorado license plates, and there's this girl from Colorado that keeps reaching out to me, but she'll I don't think that's going anywhere. I think it's just because she'll reach out and then she'll disappear, and then she'll reach out and then she'll disappear. I'm like, I want to come visit, and then she'll disappear. I'm like, okay, I think this needs to stop. But Colorado is. I'm considering moving to the Fort Collins area. I feel like anywhere in Colorado is great for you. I feel like Fort Collins is good. I'd say I used to live around Denver more, and I loved that area, but I know it just got super expensive because I was looking at apartments out there. I'm like, oh wow, $1,500 for a studio. I'm like, maybe not right now. Is there any insight on sleep paralysis? It's been happening for a full week. I feel like that's part of your awakening, honestly. I would acknowledge your gifts. If you have mediumship gifts or anything else, I feel like that can happen to intuitive people. That used to happen to me before I really acknowledged my channeling. And also when I was around people that were more controlling. Weirdly enough, that might not be your exact scenario, but I heard it was part of your awakening. Elk Grove, not magical at all. Okay, I didn't think I was gonna move to Elk Grove. It's just something that she said. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's a joke. Oh, it is magical. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Elk kept showing up for her. I didn't get the joke at first. Germany here. Heck yeah. How's Germany, Little Moon? You're welcome, Isabella. New York? Heck yeah. How's New York? I have, the people I've talked to in New York have been trying to leave New York. At least the city. I don't know about the state. Be Divine. Hey, Be Divine. Good to see you. Not from Texas, but have been looking in that direction. Heck yeah. It's, to me, I feel like in some ways it's a cool state. I liked Austin. When I first got to Texas, because I drove through Arkansas, it was this weird difference, because it went from Arkansas, trees and industrial buildings. I'm sure there's more to Arkansas, and across the border, and it's all of a sudden there's a billboard that says this critter ain't litter, or something this critter don't litter, for Bucky's gas station, and then there's 20. I'm exaggerating, but it was almost all the strip malls I'd ever encountered in my life were just combined into some huge amorphous strip mall animal, and there were 20 steakhouses, and I was Texas is a meme, and it was so weird. But that was just when I entered Texas. I think the rest of it was more chill, sort of. Originally from the Seattle area and highly recommend it. Yeah, Washington looks really cool. I know there's a lot of nature up there as well. I'm from Michigan, huh? Michigan's cool. I have grandparents up by Glen Arbor, and I guess it's 40 minutes from Traverse City. I don't know if you were north or south. but living in South Carolina, interesting choice. I was in North Carolina for a while. How's South Carolina? Because I feel like you're rocking it there, honestly. That's cool though. I love like hearing about like the different places people are drawn to and where they end up. Um, Kim, I feel like you will find love. I feel like it'll be a bit of a journey. Um, hmm. Weird message. I would let love come to you. I don't think it's something that would be good to chase, Kim. But as long as you're it's more like casting your net out. Like if you're putting yourself out there on not social media, maybe social media, but like the apps and everything, and just seeing what comes your way, I feel like that's going to be your best option. But make sure you're putting yourself out there in positions where love can find you, Kim. Sorry, I'm getting caught up on I've been seeing a lot of Texas license plates in Illinois recently. Yeah, I'm in Illinois currently, but I agree. I've been seeing a lot of Texas license plate. Like I drove up to Michigan in September. No, it was July, not September at all. In July, I drove up to Michigan and I saw a ton of Texas license plates. It was really interesting. Brandon, any tips besides meditation to strengthen intuition? Yeah, I feel like I need a knuckle crack for that one. One message is like the more you're showing up and living your life intuitively, the more intuitive you're going to become. And that's like pulling cards for yourself on the regular. That's like showing up like, okay, finding some type of yes, no, whether that's like body pendulum or muscle testing or access consciousness as a modality I'll refer to. I'm not really a practitioner. I just borrow things from them, essentially like tools and stuff. They have this concept where like if it feels true for you, what's true for you is light, what's a lie is heavy. So you can be like, okay, does it feel light for me? Like how does it feel energetically to like eat lunch here versus here? Like what feels lighter? And like whatever feels lighter, that's going to be the better option essentially. So like when you're starting to show up intuitively, I feel like just the intention starts to move energies that direction, and you're getting a lot of practice by like either having certain parts of your day or trying to make certain choices intuitively and just seeing where that leads you. But the more you're also showing up for other people intuitively and putting yourself in positions to use your gifts, the more like that's going to show up for you as well. Like when, as far as doing Reiki sessions, I would do that a lot, and learning energy work and doing a lot of those sessions was another way my intuition boosted. One, because things like Reiki, you're getting a Reiki treatment while you're providing a Reiki session for someone else. Same with, there are some similarities with other energy work modalities, but that can open you up and boost your intuition as well, because that Reiki is removing any blocks or just anything that's in the way and just bringing out your natural gifts and abilities and your intuition. Like Reiki just boosts those gifts. So it's like when you're putting yourself in the position where you're doing card readings for friends and just seeing what shows up, or it's like doing those things can help as well as some of the things I'm getting to help boost your intuition. But I would also do anything you can do to set the intention, like even buying crystals that help with intuition, if it's like $3 or $5 or whatever, writing it out on a note card and like manifesting it. Those are some of the other tips I would say, besides just meditating. Like getting into energy work, I feel like the things that really helped me most were getting into energy work and channeling. Those were what really boosted everything for me. But I'd say energy work and channeling were like what drew me into this work, I'd say, initially. So I hope that gives a little bit more. I don't know if that's anything new that I'm saying, but Trivia Goddess, how's your day going, Brandon? So much love. It's good. I get to hang out with you guys. I'm having a really good morning. Bella, what would be my yes, no? I have been trying to harness my intuition. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of questions, so I will try to hang out with you guys the best I can. So Bella, and then I want to talk to Marina here. Cool. So like for yes, no, like the trick I use, I can show you really quickly, but for body pendulum, I mean, there's three ways. So what would be the best way for you? I would start working at least with a regular pendulum if you don't already, Bella. I don't have one. I just realized I don't have a pendulum. I should get one. I gave mine away, I think. It's weird. It's weird realizing you don't have a pendulum. But you can start to like show me yes, show me no. For me, with my body pendulum, it's pretty much you kind of hone it in like a regular pendulum, and it's practice from there. But it's like, okay, I ask my body pendulum is connected to highest wisdom, highest infinite source, and I'll feel that, and I'll be like, okay, show me yes. For me, my yes is to the left. Show me no. For me, the right is to the no is to the right. Show me maybe, and I bounce back and forth. It used to be when I started out, like show me yes, my body would move forward, and show me no, my body was moved right, and then I wanted it to be left for yes and no to right. So I asked that left was yes and no is right, and that's how it honed in. And it's really, as I got more practiced and my channeling ramped up, it's more the energy moves me. I don't find myself physically moving my body at all. I mean, like my body's physically moving, but it's not like I'm activating those muscles with the intention to move. Like it's very, if you even notice like just the way it moves, like do it really quickly to yes. It's like, it's not like a natural, like it's very interesting, but that's one way for body pendulum. Marina asked, like, is my family accepting and sharing, does my family share, appreciate my gifts? So I have, like, there's definitely like, my mom has gifts. I don't feel like she does lean more Christian. I don't feel like she's like honed it in quite like I have. And I do feel like she has a different approach. I feel like they've learned to appreciate it. It was definitely a struggle like 2017, 2018, like in that time frame, because it was newer. And I was definitely in an interesting phase in my life back then, because it was like sometime, at least for me and what my process was, like when I had my spiritual awakening, I was like, oh, I'm feeling energies, and like, oh my gosh, like this is so much better than regular life, and I'm so happy. And like you kind of have this realization like, oh, I don't need to do, for me, it was like, I don't need to do anything. I just need to be. And so like I didn't really have too many like big, I mean, I think I did, but I wasn't in the place to get to them like big, like, oh, I want to get this job and make this X amount of money and da-da-da-da. So I think my family my mom in particular didn't like that I was more floating and not like having particular goals. But for me, I was more like, I was connecting spiritually. I was growing in my intuition and my energy work. I was working on those facets of me and growing spiritually and with who I am. And so she didn't like that. And I think I'd moved, I was in Colorado, and then I moved back with my parents because the spiritual awakening kind of blew up a lot of things in Colorado, and I probably could have done things differently, but like I worked in a metaphysical shop. I just think she wanted to see more ambition and goals and like making more money from me. And so I think she almost saw it as like, oh, are you mentally ill? Like she kind of threw that at me a few times. Like I'd laugh because my guide showed me something, and she'd be like, she'd kind of throw this like underhanded like thing at me and be like, oh, well, you know, there's she said some things that weren't really cool. But as I progressed and I ended up moving to North Carolina, and I had a girlfriend out there, and I had a job that I was doing out there that wasn't the metaphysical shop, because that didn't go very well, just with the owners at the shop. But that's a whole other story. It wasn't just me, it was all the employees that kind of just quit at the same time. But once my gifts got more honed in, and it was more like, you just can't deny it. Like I just bring through the channeled answers, and they were accurate, and be like, oh crap. That was more when she was, and especially as things took off on TikTok more. That's more, it's like that. One time there was this quote from this, I think it was the band Disturbed, and I'm not super into that band, but the lead singer said this quote is like his parents weren't like super into like him doing metal, but then his band got successful, and he's like, it's weird how success makes everything okay. And I wish I would say I kind of haven't seen that, but I feel like I kind of have seen that, where it's like, oh, you're doing this and people are resonating with it. Oh, it's helping people. Oh, this is okay. And I'm not saying I'm like the most super successful TikToker ever, you know, like, but does that make sense? So it's like, it's been a journey, but they are now. They really will be more supportive now than they were in the past. And as far as my dad, I think he just kind of keeps his mouth shut so he doesn't tick me off, because I've had to like, there's certain things I've had to be like, okay, please don't ever call me drunk. I'm going to hang up if you do. And so I think he's a little bit hesitant to push me away too far is, I haven't really checked in with it recently, but so it's like yes and no. What are your thoughts on pendulums? Sorry, that was a lot. I probably shouldn't have unpacked all that, but so it's like, so yes, and it's getting better is what I'd also say as well. My sister is more into this stuff too. So, oops, sorry, chat is moving really quickly and I'm like seeing things I want to talk to and like, yeah, and it's weird because I stay away from Ouija boards too, and like I don't know, I don't know about, I don't know. I just stay away from. If my guides say no, don't do that, I don't do it. I feel like you just have to know what you're doing. Is pretty much like what I want to say. I feel like most people are not ready for Ouija boards though. I don't know why. I don't know if that's just like a collective thing or just what the angels are shouting at me. That's true, Charlotte. 100%. Success is such a relative definition too. One person's doesn't have to be another's. I feel like that's where that was butting heads as well. Thanks, Deja. I love you guys. And it's not like it's been bad because it like honestly like the turnaround with my relationship with my parents has been very stark. They've like helped me out in the long run, especially more recently, like more like 2020. They really like my mom and stepdad, who's a really good guy. Like they've turned around to be very supportive and helpful. And it was before I blew up on TikTok, honestly, that they did turn that around. But as far as more of the acceptance of what I'm doing, I feel like it was more eased once that TikTok stuff started happening, is what I'd say. So, like, I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but there were some not fun experiences. Because there's a lot I'm grateful for as well. It's a bit complicated, you could say. I found myself laughing at their humor. My family is learning to understand me. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to approach it. Oh, Destiny, because you asked if you could, you asked like, can you control pendulums with your mind? I feel like yes, but I think if the intention is to get the accurate answers, you'll get the accurate answers. Does that make sense? That's what I get. Sarah Jean is my lover. Is it very easy to collect negative energy? I get no. Here's what I get. It depends on who you are and where you're at. So a little more clarification on that. For the most part, I want to make sure I'm reading through this accurately because it seems a bit, they're almost like pointing to it being a bit relative, interestingly enough. If you're someone who does the work and you show up, you work on yourself, you raise your vibration, you have good intentions, your intentions are pure, you're taking the time to know what you're doing, you're probably divinely guided and protected. You probably won't just like collect negative energies. If your belief system is really, I think in some ways it's a good idea to keep an eye on what you believe, where it's like if you're always like worried about like, negative energies and like this thing and like, I need to be afraid of that thing. I think sometimes like, let's see, you have a bit of choice around your reality around those things. So one person might be gravely affected by it, but one person might be like, I'm divinely protected and I know that and I work with my guides and I'm going to be okay. And there is a bit of crossover. I don't want to say like everyone's living in is everyone living in an entirely different reality? No. But I would be like aware of what you buy from other people about how things work is one thing I'd say. Does that make sense? Chat moves fast. Yeah, I think at some point, Brandon, did you ever consider to live for a while in a van and just travel? Oh my God. Yeah, that came up recently, honestly. I was talking about that with some friends 2 days ago. But that's been something that's really been on my mind is like, because that's totally a possibility. Is I get in my van and I get a Wi-Fi hotspot and I just travel and I channel and I do my projects and do readings. Like that's totally been something that's been on my mind. It's funny that you bring it up. So I'm curious if things are moving that direction for a while because I feel like I don't know. That's something I'd love to try. Um, yeah, because you have the freedom. Yeah, I'll sit with that and see if that's where the universe wants me to go. Um, let's see here. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to try and separate these lives and just do hangout lives and then do Q and channeled A. So I wonder what would be best way to. I'll sit with that because I think people wants to do that. Um, hey, Hope Lily Stargazer, will the volume in my face return? Um, I'm not sure I understand the question, but my body pendulum is going overall yes. It went like yes, no, yes, no, yes. So overall yes. If you have a bit more um, detail, that might help me a bit more as well. Yes, van life / SUV conversion to save for a van. Enjoy nature. That's goals AF. Yeah, that would be cool. It'd be cool to travel. Happy Sunday, Leslie Smile. It's good to see you. Um, um, Ginger Snap 1533. Met someone new. Anything about that, please? I feel like they're okay. They're a good option for now. I don't honestly feel like they're the best long-term option. Like, do I feel like they're the one? No. Um, I feel like if you give them a shot, what happens if you go with it? I feel like it's an okay relationship if you go with it. It'll be good. I don't feel like it's going to be built to last, or it's not built to last, is something I'm hearing. Ginger Snap, and so I'm not trying to shoot that down. That's just what I'm hearing. Let's all just get a dope van and travel around like a bunch of hooligans. Yeah, let's get a bus. That'd be wild. Um, Shay, will Kyle and me get back together soon? If soon, when? Is he faithful? I don't think it's likely you're going to get back together. I feel like it's a possibility that might be further out in the future. Is he faithful? I feel like he'd be half faithful. I feel like he might be looking around, if you know what I mean. He's an okay option, Kyle, but not the best is what I'd say for you. Shay, I feel like you deserve better is one thing I'd say. So I hope that helps. I just don't feel like he's the one, and that's just to get that point across. There was an accident with a laser. That might be a slow journey, Hope Lily Stargazer. It's possible. I feel like you're gonna have to come at it from multiple angles to get that back, is what I'd say. Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Should I take a break from school? I'd stick with it if you can. Maybe if you can slow down your course load, maybe that. But for some reason, I wouldn't get a break. Take a break based on what I'm getting. Haley 4444. Am I on the right path? I feel lost. Yeah. And sometimes being lost is being on the right path to being on the right path, is something they're saying as well. I feel like this is just a phase as well. I feel like there's multiple people who feel lost. And I feel like there's just a lot that hasn't grounded in for the future yet. It's like the actual path is still being built, is something they're saying. I would manifest what you dream of and see like what path the universe upshifts you to, is one thing I'm hearing. With a portable greenhouse, that would be cool. I appreciate that with a portable greenhouse. The Brandon Punch, gosh. Oh man, that would be wild. Should I go to school for respiratory therapy? I feel lost in my career right now. I don't. I feel like that's a good option, respiratory therapy, but not the best. I feel like it would lead to something you'd want to do differently, Tiny Heathen. I feel like going back to school, good idea, but not that is what I'm getting. But what about career for you? I feel like that's close to it though. Like it's not quite it, but it's close. I would look at some of your other options around that field and see what calls to you as well. A laser accident. Gotcha. I feel like you will get it back, but it's going to take time. Is pretty much what I'm getting. Hope Lily Stargazer. Ooh, this hangout is. Let's see. Gabby Gabberoni, am I choosing the right path with Tyler? I get it's not the best path, but I also get there's no wrong path, is something they're saying as well. I also get the message it's hard to mess that situation up. Usually when that comes through, what does that mean for you? I feel like it's gonna work out the way it needs to, like either way. And it reminds me of, it's like sometimes when I bring that through, I'll be like, you can't mess it up. And then like they'll be like, oh, I don't know, do I do this or that? And then like the universe kind of decides for them. And it's like, no, it's this. So keep that in mind as well. I feel like it's going to be on the right track with Tyler is one thing they're saying. Trailin. Oh, be divine. Good answer. Yeah. Mother Nature is probably doing energy medicine as a career. I'd say part of your career. Drink some water, yeah. I'd say part of your career. I feel like something on the side and build your energy medicine practice and you'll be good. Mother Nature's TikTok is what I'd say. But it's definitely in the cards. Yeah, it's definitely in the cards. Box of Rain, should I buy a house soon? The advice I get, depending on how the housing market is around you, because I know in the US it's been a little bit weird, but I would hold off until the housing market cools off is one thing they're saying. Or give it a little bit of time to sit on it. It's like sooner rather than later, but I wouldn't jump on it tomorrow is what I'd say. Box of Rain, like what would be a good time frame? I would start looking after Mercury in retrograde and see what shows up is one thing I'm getting. Yeah, so I know we were going to do Hangout. I know Q and Channel Day took over again. Oh, Brandon, have you ever made a vision board? No. I've done a lot of, let's see. It's something that I've been thinking about doing because I've heard it. And like sometimes if I see like words or things, I'll almost do it. But it's something I've yet to try for manifestation. I've kind of... I've more just written things out or just asked for them and just went with that. But I think a vision board sounds really fun. I've just never taken the time to put it together, I guess. Oh man. I'm glad that I've been able to join you after nearly a month. I've missed you, my TikTok fan. Yeah, we missed you too, Be Divine. It was definitely, Deja's been holding down the fort. I know Lacey joined in as well. But it's always good to have you here. Let's see here. Diva, should I wait with breaking up with Eric? I get no, honestly. If you feel called to do it, I would do it, honestly. Yeah, I think I will at some point, because that's come up a lot around me. I just haven't. I think I need to get a board, and then I need to figure out how I want to put it together. But that'd be fun. I think it'd be a good different approach. It'd be good for me to try something new, probably around that too, and just see like what shows up around that. But I know it works. I know it works. Hey, Elemental Eloquence, how's it going? I'm building as I go with the fort, but I need more wood. Is that Minecraft, or is that... Did I missed something? Deja, I missed something. Are you building a fort? Interesting. Bella, someone told me that Hades was around me, and I was wondering what that meant. What is that about? It's not a bad thing. The words I get are like keeping you from going under. I know Hades is more about the underworld, but whenever I tune in with like, oh, what's that deity doing there? It's always a positive message. As far as like what I get. Like one time my sister messaged me and said she was drawn to Loki, and the message I got was like, because I'm not a big fan of like trickster energy, I'm not about it. But what I heard for her was like, oh, Loki is protecting her from treachery. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. So I'd say like, I feel like Hades is also, if he's around you, helping you deal with the lower aspects of life, and churning through that with more ease and grace is something I'm getting. Are you still thinking of getting a dragon tat? Yeah, it's funny you guys mentioned it, because I keep talking about it. Because I almost just randomly got a tattoo when I was in Texas, but I didn't. But I am. I've been thinking about getting another tattoo again soon, but I just haven't jumped on it yet. I have the money. I just need to find the right tattoo artist. I'm very particular about people and their energies and like and stuff, and I probably don't need to be, honestly, because I don't even know about this dude who did this one. This was before a lot of my spiritual stuff, but my friends were looking at it, and there were a lot of like actual more spiritual elements that ended up turning out in it that were, it worked out how it needed to. So I'm trying to find that balance of like what's being particular and like discerning in a good way, and what is like just needless, like going too far, because I feel like the universe is everyone and everything, and it works through those things in the highest and best ways. That's, so it's like, what's the balance between like between those things? Oh, thanks, Deja. Artists are super booked up at the moment too. Oh, gotcha. Good to hear. That's interesting to me. I feel like it's a really interesting time for that to be like booked up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to find a time where I separate the Q and channel day and the Hangouts, because it's let's see, what would be, I don't know. Is there a day that works for you guys for like Hangouts? Forgot to give my number to a coworker, and I hope they aren't upset today. Gonna miss seeing her. Maybe you can find her on Facebook. You pick. Yeah, I'll have to pick a day for. Oh, Laura, you got a reading from Anna Anthony? Heck yeah. No, she's fantastic. I recommend it. But that's really cool that you got a reading from her. That's super cool. Any day that's best for you. I'm home 24/7. All right, I'll figure it out. I'm going to ask my guys, what would be the best day for a TikTok Hangouts? It could even be Monday evening. Oh my God, Brittany, Mondays are always good. I opened my eyes and saw Monday, but I closed my eyes and they said Monday evening. So maybe Monday evening, and then it's like, that is after, I do usually do a lot of readings on Monday, but it'd be easier if we're just hanging out. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing that, and then we could just hang out and have a hangout day, and then like, I want to do like potentially general readings halfway through the week, and then the Q and channel day on Sundays, and then, or something like that, because my guides didn't seem too enthusiastic about the general readings in the middle of the week, because I don't think they want me to do too much, but yeah, sweet. Yeah, maybe like, I don't know, 6 p.m. my time Monday. We'll see. It will be sleeping time for me, but I try to join. If it works out for you, Lizzie Bakerfield, how will people react to our relationship? Let's see. I feel like some people will react a little bit. It all chills out in the end. The other question is like one thing they're saying is like, that doesn't matter so much. Like the real question, like, is this the right relationship for us? Like, is this what's serving our highest good? Because it's like, I think most people will just stand aside and let it happen. Lizzie Bakerfield is what I'm getting about that. Is it a full moon today? I would love a list of how to ask Source for guidance. You do it so eloquently. Yeah, and my way just kind of evolved over time. I mean, honestly, like, if you ask with the intention, like, I'm asking Source, please guide me in the highest and best ways for you to guide me. Please expand my gifts in the highest and best ways for them to expand. Help me to be guided in the highest and best ways for me to be guided. Or even mantras like, I'm always divinely guided. I'm divinely guided always. I'm always divinely guided. I'm always divinely protected. Things like that. Because I really just, like, this just kind of happened. It didn't just happen. Like, there was a lot that went into it, but it's like, this is like years of work, I would say, in a sense. But it's also just letting Source lead me into what's the best way for me to be guided. Share your book. It's great. Thanks, Leslie Smells. Yeah, sure. Spirit Guides, Angels, and Speaking with Source. It's available through my TikTok bio, through Amazon. I need to make an electronic version, honestly, but making things reflowable it's like a term for like when you put, because I did all the design work myself on Adobe InDesign, but when you put things into, like, if you sell an ebook, it's one way you're supposed to sell it is it's reflowable onto difficult devices, different devices. So it's like it will look good on your phone, it will look good on your laptop, it will look good on your tablet. But it's a really difficult thing to make a book look good and reflowable. For me, at least, it was difficult for me to figure out. So maybe I'll just launch the PDF version for the ebook, and maybe I'll just sell that on my website instead of having to go through Amazon. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Ooh, yeah, I need to make an audiobook. That's one of my next steps, is I'd like a place to record audio that's better. Because my apartment's okay, but sometimes there's noise, and sometimes, like, I don't, like, I'd like to get like a house I rent or move into, or just my own space where it's like, there's just less, there's nothing against the neighbors at all, but less noise, less listening ears, you know, less people walking by the door and hearing what I'm talking about, you know. You have a great voice for an audiobook. Thank you. Thanks, Brittany Lynn. I appreciate that. You would be great at narrating. Oh, maybe that'll be my side gig. I'll narrate things. Oh, thanks, Little Moon. Cassie Lynn, why do I have so much apprehension lately? It doesn't even seem to have a reason. I feel like it's a purge. And I would pay attention to the people around you. Like, are they apprehensive? Like, is it hers or someone else's? I feel like it's past stuff releasing, honestly, when I double check in. It won't be forever. I also think, like, there's a lot of collective stuff going on where people might be a bit, like, on edge with things. Not everyone, but that's just something that I'm hearing as well. Runes would be perfect. I do feel like your intuition is getting stronger. I feel like the more you practice, the stronger it gets, is one thing they're saying. Oh, good question, Deja. Now that I think about it, are you, like, still eating meats? Has your body rejected it too, or is it just... is it just me? Like, I can't do pork now, and I can't if it's anything. Here's what I'm finding is, like, I feel like my body is... Let's see, because I don't always, because sometimes I'm like, I just need food, and I'm just going to eat the first thing that my guides will let me eat. Not that they, like, let me eat, like, I have my choices too, but, you know, I do my best to follow my guidance. I feel like I've been eating less meat. I feel like I've been guided away from it more, and my body's leaning less towards it. Because one of the concepts that I try to work with, it's from Access Consciousness that I borrow a lot from, and it's a good book on it is Being You, Changing the World Is Now the Time by Dr. Dane Here. And essentially, like, they talk about, like, when you eat something that your body really wants, one, it feels lighter. Two, it's more like, or can I say this word? But it's more orgasmic, is what they say. So if it just tastes like amazing, out of this world, you're like, oh my God, like that's more like what your body needs. And the more I moved towards that as like my mode of operating, it's like things like cake or sweets usually actually don't taste as good anymore. It's just like, eh. But like the more I honed that in is like, yeah, let's go that direction. It's like sometimes I'll eat like a vegetable. You'll be like, this is the best turnip of my life. You know, it's like, it's random. And like sometimes it is a burger that you need. And sometimes it is chocolate cake, but it's usually not like a whole chocolate cake. Usually it's like have a slice, or usually it's like, you know, that's more what I'm noticing as I like hone that in. It's like sometimes it surprises you what your body wants, and it's not the stereotypical like this is healthy food, but it's like it does tend to lean towards like my body wants more plant-based foods in general, and so I have found myself leaning that way just naturally. And like the girl I went and visited in Austin is vegan, and my last girlfriend when I was in North Carolina was vegan and gluten-free, so I've eaten that way a lot, just by proxy, but my body hasn't totally like said no to meat yet, and I feel like it's gonna. My guys are like, it's gonna, so that's what I get on that. Will my son Brian make it in his career? I feel like overall yes, but I feel like he's gonna have a career change is something I'm hearing, that will lead to success. But he won't be unsuccessful, is what I get. Lori, are you offering Reiki classes? Yeah, I am. I am, and I need to put one together because I have a list of people who want a class, and I've been big time procrastinating on it. So I maybe I'll just put that together after this live, if people want that, and then so that's something I'll keep in mind. Pat, I would try to change jobs if you can. Pat asks, I'm having a very difficult situation at work. What is the best option for my higher self? Thanks, Pat. I would try to change jobs. It's going to take fortitude for now, and press on, but I would start looking elsewhere if you can. I don't feel like that's the job you're at is, it'll be good for a while as far as like stability, but I don't think it's your forever job is what I'd say. Oh, nice. Learning to make a lot of sweets from scratch and with natural sweeteners. Very cool. That sounds amazing. I would like that class. Cool. Well, yeah, if you're interested in a Reiki class, just maybe go through the contact form on my website. I'm very not great at checking my direct messages on TikTok. I've learned in social media, but that's, yeah, I'll let you know. How do you set intentions? Haley 4444. Great question. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, a lot of questions. So yeah, should I switch back to Q&A? Yeah, I'll keep it as a hangout for a bit. I'll answer these questions. So I think I'm going to go live. Would it be nice good for me to go live tomorrow from hangout? I might go live tomorrow or Tuesday for just a hangout, because I know this Q&A changed into a hangout, and I noticed like the people just like the numbers dwindled, which is fine, because I think a lot of people come for the questions and the answers. But I think separating the Q&A and the hangout out will go better in the future. Ooh, a channeling class. Yeah, my God, you're like, put that together. I'm gonna write that down. I think it needs to be live though, like a live channeling class, like over Zoom or something. I think limit 10 people. No limits, but 10 people max, just so I can focus on the people that are there. And we could run through questions. Sorry, they're giving me like the whole details for that class right now. Run through questions, tips, tricks, yeah. I'll jot down notes on that in a second. But I think that would be cool. I think a lot of people will get a lot out from that. I would like to be a part of it. Cool. Yeah, I'll figure out like what would be a good
Um, so out of curiosity, if I asked you guys, what would you feel like a fair price for that would be for a channeling class over Zoom? What would you feel like that would be per person? If you, I'm curious asking you guys, because I don't. And maybe I could do a range where it's like if you can afford this, if you can afford more, and just like what you can afford in that range. Maybe I'll do something like that. Yeah, for sure. Not cheap, honestly. Depends how long. Yeah. Um, okay. Yeah, and I'd have to be like, do we create a course or do we create a one-off? So, okay. I'm gonna sit with that. I'll see what they bring through on like some of those ideas. I think people would get a lot out of that. Um, that's a good point, Deja, for sure. Um, okay, interesting. I feel like I'm seeing a general range. Huh. Nope. Make the price you know best that for what you have to put in. Yeah, good tip. Yeah, I'll consider that as well. But I was very curious, like what you guys thought would be appropriate, just based on the idea. Um, oh, Lori. Okay. Yeah, based on the number of meetings, and that's something I just have to sit with as well. Like one off, is it like a concurring class where we keep showing up? Like more of a course. Yeah, I'll sit with that. If you need an assistant, sign me up. Thanks, Be Divine. Yeah, Be Divine. Divine offering assistance. I'll see what I need with all that. Oh, thanks, Deja. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Uh, um, just popped in. What was class money question? Yeah, so I know this was supposed to be Q and Channel Day, and it kind of turned into a hangout or like a weird mix. Thanks, Destiny. So pretty much someone asked about like a channeling class, because someone asked about a Reiki class, and then someone asked about a channeling class, and I thought that was a really cool idea, so I'd have to put that together. And I have some other ideas too as well, but I feel like that would be a really cool idea. I just have to sit with like, would that be a one-off or multiple classes, or like, because I feel like a one-off would be a really great way to get started and get a boost, and I feel like that would help a lot of people. I feel like with multiple classes, you could go a bit deeper with it, and really like start to troubleshoot things more with like people in the class is something I get too. So one thing that came to me as well, and my guys are like, oh, you need to tell them, was so should I tell them? I've been sitting with this concept because I know I'm going to be potentially working with people regarding their gifts. Like there's things like Reiki attunements will tend to really help with those things. So I've been sitting with like attunements that literally are just for, like, it's not like a whole like energy work modality that comes with it, but it's like an attunement that like boosts your intuition or your channeling or your gifts, or your gifts in the highest and best ways for you. And I've been receiving those symbols for like those attunements, and like there's a whole story behind it, but essentially like one thing I might consider offering with that class are like attunements where it's like, if you get a Reiki attunement, like that's definitely a boost to your intuition and your gifts and like your channeling, whatever you're inherently, can do. Same with like Valeumi, the modality I channeled through, and other modalities as well. It's not just my stuff that I do. And but like that way, like you could get an attunement with the class that boosts those things without like you being like, okay, well I guess I got a Reiki attunement, but what do I do with that? I only just learned this channeling. I for some reason I feel like that is something I'm going to incorporate in the class as well, if people are interested, if that feels right, if that feels good to everyone's guts. Oh yeah, it would be cool if you could offer both, or like one off first and then the course after we go through it. Yeah, that's a cool idea. I won't be a guinea pig. All right. Cool. As long as it feels right to you guys. And so, of course, it's only for the highest good. See, this is something I wasn't aware of. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, due to overwhelming response, I think I will put that channeling class together and I'll get back to you guys um, based on how that goes. Because I have been doing like coaching with people. Like, there's been a couple people who reached out for like coaching, like for developing their gifts. So that might be something I start offering as well. But I think the channeling class will be really cool. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna sit with that today. Maybe that's what I'll do today is start putting that together because that'd be fun, and I think like you guys would get a lot out of it. And I think one thing that's always jumped out to me is I just feel like the more people that are following their divine guidance, and like following their intuition and living that way, like one, you start to entrain to, like especially when you're channeling and connecting to source, like that higher vibration and that higher way of being. I feel like just if everyone or if most of the people on the planet live their lives divinely guided and like what are they supposed to be doing? What's their path? Like how do we treat people? Like how am I guided to treat people? How am I guided to handle this circumstance? Like just think of like how different things would be. Like just the way the government and different structures would be if it was divinely guided instead of there were being agendas per se. It'd be like what would be highest and best for everyone. I feel like that would be a very cool world. And that's something that I've thought about for years. And so I've always wondered if part of my mission is helping people to boost their gifts and their divine guidance and get on their path in the right ways. So some of that, I'm not saying that's how the world has to be, but I'm curious if that's part of what I'm here to help move things towards. Sort of, they're saying. I think there's a lot more to it than just that, but that's always been a thought. Yeah, bringing in more light and less anxious. Yeah, and just like people would be more guided in healing. I think there'd just be less confusion, and I think people would be less able to hide things, which I think would be okay because I think when you're seeing it more from a channeled perspective or like intuitively, you're less apt to judge things. I feel you're more apt to see like, okay, I see that pattern and I see where that was kind of coming from. I see that like in their fields, like where that wounding was from. And like, so I'm not judging it. I'm just seeing it. So like you might not even want to hide things as much because then people can see more to the core of things and help in that way instead of it being like being judged for being a certain way. I believe that's where the world is increasingly going. Yeah, I would totally 100% agree. I see that. I am told I am intuitive, but I don't know how to utilize my gifts. Yeah. I mean, and some of that is like, it's funny. Like one of the things my guide said, like, regarding that is it's like, it's one of those things you have to start small, but like once it starts happening, you're like, okay, then you have that experience, like getting a channeled message. Like once you get a channeled message, you know what a channeled message is like, so you can keep going with channeled messages. But it's like you kind of just have to start small and get that traction with like, oh, that's what intuition is like, that's what that's like, and then you can keep going. Like eventually the training wheels come off and you'll be like, okay, I'm following my intuition now. So in a lot of like, how do you get started with that for you? Like one of the advice my guides will give will like just like pull cards and sit with them. And sometimes just the intentionality of like pulling cards to start practicing your intuition, it moves the energies that ways anyways. And like the other events and experiences and places and things you need to start working with your gifts show up more. And I think that's one thing my gifts really talked about in the book was like manifesting that, where it's like, okay, I asked to work with my gifts in the highest and best ways. I asked to develop them in the highest and best ways. Universe, bring me whatever would be highest and best for me to have that happen for me. And like all of a sudden you're manifesting like, okay, maybe I don't know, but the universe does. And so like, oh, here's this person who gave me this tidbit of information. And oh, here's this course on intuition. And oh my gosh, I really feel like I just got that visual, that vision. Like, what does that mean? And so that's kind of like some of the advice as well. This hangout has brought amazing new ideas. I love that development, like magic. Yeah, I love it too. I think it's fun to just talk to you guys and like you guys have ideas. And I don't always get to hear it because I'm just like sitting there, which is fine, like channeling messages for people. But it's cool to get to like interact with you guys this way. It's Stella. Anything for me before you leave, please? Yeah. So two messages here. I have two. I went to pull some tarot cards, and like the Two of Wands popped out. And like one of the messages they said is you're going to have the whole world in your hands, because like in this Two of Wands, he has the whole world, in his hands. I do get the message as well, and this has been coming through a lot, to go your own way. Like, try not to follow everything super traditionally, especially if you want something unconventional out of life, or you want to go a certain direction. I get this message, Nine of Swords popping out here. I feel like I get the message you don't need to worry. It's like internal, there's one reader who will call it like internal fears that don't exist. I don't think that's this card in particular. That's more the message I'm getting. I kind of get all will be well. I would also pay attention to the moon cycles. There's a little moon on this blanket here with all these like signs and stuff on it. But so what's the message for you regarding that? I just feel like moon cycles. My phone on no power mode. Okay. Like manifest with the new moon, pay attention to the full moon, like doing moon magic would be good. I don't know who you are. I'm so sorry. One thing they're talking about is like needing to start, like if you have, thank you for the floral bouquet, Lori. Floral bloom, thank you. If there's any adventures you want to go on, any like things you want to go on, I would start. Like now is a good time to start asking, what will it take for me to get to where I want to go, where I need to go, of the universe. But I feel like you have a lot of options coming in. I also see a lot of things coming back around with that world. They kind of turned it to the World Tarot card, and that can mean like things coming back around, which makes sense with Mercury in retrograde. But they're giving me this message like past, present, future. What's that about? Here's this weird message. I feel like you're going to have like these past, present, and future experiences all kind of blending or molding into one, and it kind of jets you out in a new direction. So I think it's like, what does that even mean? Because that's a really interesting message. Like I'm seeing like people from the past and people from the future, and like just like people in your present now, and it's like there's some type of event that just kind of like starts to bring it all together, and it's like almost like the world makes sense is something I'm hearing as well. That's a lot of different messages I'm getting from those cards, but I would take a leap of faith with the Fool card popping out here, which is more that get started message. But I hope that helps and makes sense to you. I know who it was for, but I don't remember the username. It's Stella. That's it. Water. Tiffany, perfect hangout. I'm missing your lives. Glad I got the end. I think, yeah. Thanks so much. Yeah, I think, what should I do? Yeah, I think I'll answer a few more questions and I'll hang out a little bit more, and then we'll close the live out. Because I know this turned a bit more low key towards the end here, because we started just hanging out. Oh my gosh, how to start reading tarot? Honestly, I would start with oracle cards. I know you said tarot specifically, and I'll get there. I would start with oracle cards because, one, like if I pull this oracle card deck and I just pull, what's the card you want to use as an example? If I pull manifest, for instance, which I pulled earlier, which is funny, like that's very clear what that's talking about. It's like manifest, okay. And then there's different imagery you can go off of that your intuition can run with as well. But oracle cards are easy to start with because like it gives you a word or a phrase that's pretty like solid for the most part. Like sometimes with like Alana Fairchild, like her decks have like words that aren't English, and you're like, I don't know what this means, but I like it. For tarot, I would watch a crap ton of, I would find readers you like on YouTube and just watch a crap ton of tarot readings. Because like I learned how to read tarot basically like one, because I would just channel. I wouldn't typically use cards. I'd show up in conversation like with people, and my guides would just like start bringing through messages for people. And I loved doing card readings, and like that's part of how my gift started to take off as well. But it's like I got really good at card readings when I got really good at channeling. So it wasn't like I learned how to read cards and then my channeling took off. It was kind of this all just like it was like just like it all came together with like the channeling was like the like thing that made it all work, if that makes sense. So tarot I got a lot better at reading One, because I watched a crap ton of YouTube videos with tarot readings for some reason, and so like I just learned all the card meanings by proxy, and I saw how all these different readers were interpreting it. So when I interpret tarot, like I do have a general understanding of what most of the cards typically mean, but I also like my guidance and intuition and channeling are what brings through the actual messages. So like and like some of them I'm not as familiar with, and that's when I just lean into whatever they're saying, because it's just that's usually that's the accurate message anyways. But that's kind of how I learned to read tarot, I suppose, is like my channeling took off and I could read oracle cards and I could just channel for people, and then I learned the tarot messages by proxy, and my guides will just kind of, I mean, they'll bring through any message that needs to come through with any card anyways, but I can kind of take the traditional tarot meaning and they can run in a different direction with it, if that makes sense. I loved how it turned. Chats are the best. They are. And like, I love hanging out with you guys. And one thing I was just thinking about interestingly is like, I missed, I love the Q and channeled A, and I think I need to keep doing that. But I love the hangouts because then I get to like actually interact with you guys and talk to you guys, and like it can get a bit more like on a personal level, because otherwise I just get wrapped up in like the hundreds of questions that people ask, which is cool. But it's very difficult to keep up with. Yeah. Those are gorgeous cards. Thank you, Charlotte. Yeah, these are, I don't know which cards. This is the Black and Gold Tarot. I think you can find that on Amazon. Who's it by? It's just Black and Gold. Tarot Black and Gold edition. I don't have the name of it. It looks like it's Lo Scarabeo is the company, if you can see that. If it was these guys, Threads of Fate Oracle cards, they have really cool cards. And then, yeah, those are cool card decks. So you're so welcome, Tiffany. Should you take a break? Probably. Can you tell me something about the shamrock or the four-leaf clovers? Honestly, just a really good symbol of good luck. Anything else about that? I think that could be a sign that luck is coming. I'd say a lot of the times it's a sign of synchronicity when you're seeing like four-leaf clovers and stuff like that. What does the Raven sign mean for you? I get magic, Esprit Clementine, potent magic. What else for you? It's multifaceted. I don't think there's like one meaning. I think it's like anything else. Is it a spirit animal for you? I feel like it's a totem animal for you, honestly. They said totem because I asked if it was a spirit animal, and they said it was a totem animal for you. So magic, it's a totem animal. I would also look into some of the meanings. I wouldn't get lost because I know there's a lot of meanings in there, but that's what I get for starters for you. Ooh, what's your spirit animal? Oh my gosh. So I have a lot. Like one of my totem animals is dragon. I'm very confident in saying that. Who else is... Who are my spirit animals right now? I have horse spirit animal. Unicorn is showing up for me. Gorilla. Let's see. Giraffe shows up a lot, but giraffe is showing up as well. Owl for sure has been showing up. Who else is around me? Lion and tiger like to show up. I get snake, but I feel like snake is almost done with snake's work, is something I'm hearing. So that's about shedding skin and rebirth. So who are my totem animals? Dragon and horse are two of my totem animals. A lot of birds. Let's see. Yeah. And unconventional birds as well, is something they're saying for me. And there's more. That's starters. I don't need to go into like all my spirit animals ever, but that's some of the ones that are with me right now. Horse, so awesome. I know nothing about them, but felt drawn to volunteer somewhere to work with them. Yeah, they can be really healing. They can be very empathic animals, is something I'm hearing as well, and intuitive. And a lot of healers are drawn to work with horses, is something they're saying as well. I would encourage you to do that, interestingly enough, is something I'm getting to say. I think it will teach you a lot. Not that you need lessons, it's just what I'm hearing. What's the purpose of spirit animals? We can't really communicate with them. Mine is bear. Interestingly, I found I can talk to spirit animals. They'll give me messages. One of my funny stories was I was on a massage table, and I love working with spirit animals because I know they're legit. Like I feel their energies whenever I ask for their assistance, and it's very quick. And I've had a lot of help from them. But you can talk to them. You can get messages from them for sure. But one time I was on a massage table. My friend she's an amazing like healer, like intuitive. Like she pretty much like channels her massages or is like very intuitive with it. So it's hard to get a regular massage after that, for me at least. And so, but something came up. I think it was my love life. There was a girl that I wasn't gonna ask about, but then like this Black Panther kind of showed up, like all the spirit animals, because she'd called in the spirit animals. I think I called in the spirit animals, and like the animals were like, tell her, like what? Tell her about the girl, like tell her. And like this Black Panther showed up, she's like, tell her. And then like I wasn't telling her, and then they're like, just tell the freaking lady. And then, like I'm like, oh my god, okay. So I ended up like the Black Panther convinced me to tell my friend to tell her about it. Curious about my spirit animal, no clue what it is. What's the first one that comes through for you? Eagle is coming in through for you strongly. I feel like that is actually helping you to access your intuition and new heights, Tiffany. Snail was popping up, but that's more about like taking it slow and taking it easy. When snail shows up for people, that's more of a temporary spirit animal. What would be more of the long-term spirit animals? Gorilla wants to show up for you as well. Usually that's about strength, fortitude, weirdly enough, but it's like being strong through situations is pretty much what I get with gorillas. Gorillas are really strong. So what else is showing up for Tiffany, spirit animal wise? I feel like you have a cobra spirit animal as well as something they're showing me. Fun fact, I feel like king cobras will eat other snakes, I believe. So I feel like cobra is like, I feel like when snake spirit animal shows up, it's always a positive thing. It's spirit animals are always helping you with something. So I feel like it's like eating the snakes around you, like the bad snakes. Weird message. Those would be some, is what I'm getting for you. There's more. I feel like people typically have multiple. Malika, will you ask me to move in at some point? I get yes, but you're gonna have to be patient with that. I was just thinking of king cobras. Ooh. I think I need to stop the live. I'm hitting my points. I'm hitting my points. Bella, anything that I need to hear, maybe about career or life in general? I get the words "move on" were the first thing I was hearing. I think, what's that for? I would not stay stuck with you where you are regarding career. Ace of Pentacles popped up when I just pulled a card. I feel like new opportunity is the words coming to me. I would make sure you're ready for new opportunities. I think that's part of the don't stay stuck where you're at message, where I feel like you're going to want something else in the future if you don't already. So I'd be prepared for like just more offers or putting yourself out there for other work is something I'm getting. Life in general. I get the words hope and healing, the star card popping out. I feel like I need to censor this for TikTok because this woman is, but the star card popping out, that's usually hope and healing. I feel like you're meant to go a little bit bigger, and like just some of your endeavors and things you've been going towards is something I'm getting. So what else? I get this message like make sure you're giving space for your healing, Bella. So what does that mean? If you feel like healing is coming up or there's something you need to heal, I wouldn't like shove it down like emotions or anything like that. I would give yourself space to feel, to heal, to breathe, to let things process as well. I think powering through it can be good temporarily, but it's not always the solution. It's definitely not usually the long-term solution. So space each week to process what is happening in your life, I feel like would be helpful for you, even if it's just journaling or just sitting with it. I feel like this is what you're heading towards, Queen of Pentacles, stability. I don't know if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, but it might not be a bad idea to keep in mind for you as well. The message I hear as well with this Queen of Pentacles is make sure what you move towards is stable. I wouldn't move towards things in a rush and in a way that might not be conducive to longevity, is what I'm hearing. I feel like romance will pick up for you too. Six of Wands, also victory. I think you're headed in the right directions. I think it's more just like giving yourself breathing room and space to like process and heal if you need it and when you need it. And I'm also getting don't do this, Hanged Man. Hanged Man is very much like, pretty much Hanged Man will put things on pause to gain enlightenment is a way that this card can be read. But it's more like, don't be indecisive and like hold off from making decisions and like be indecisive, like dwell on things. I think being more decisive, not divisive. Why did divisive come out? Being more decisive would be really good for you, as long as you feel like it's leading to a stable outcome. But I feel like you'll be good. I feel like you'll be fine, is something I'm hearing. I feel like better is ahead as well. And you're not meant to fail long-term either, Bella. That's something Destiny, I hope you have the best day, Brandon. Thanks always for the messages and for the chat. Yeah, absolutely. You as well. I hope you do too. So I'm gonna, what did be asking? Brandon, it's not sad baby anymore. Hey, elevated. I like that a lot more. Congrats on the, congrats on elevated. Hey, I love that. Oh man, I love that story arc. That I'm sure it'll get even better. I feel like, I don't know if like something changed and you're like, I'm not sad baby anymore, but I wanted to say like, I feel like it's gonna get even better for you, elevated. That's really cool. Well, congrats on, sad baby cracked me up, but I like elevated. I like the intentionality behind it, and I like, hopefully you are not a sad baby anymore. Yeah, I do too, Destiny. Esme, anything for me? Sorry, it's the life that never ends. So Six of Cups popped out. They told me to pull the pop cards. I would stay away from your ex. They pointed my eyes to this X here on this pedestal thing. So I would not. For some reason, they're just saying to stay away from your exes. Let's see. I feel like the universe is trying to bring you good things. It might be in a roundabout way. So I do kind of hear rewards for past efforts. So one thing to keep in mind is like sometimes when you're giving to something or a situation and like you're being generous, like sometimes what you receive is you know, from the universe isn't always directly back from that person. Sometimes it's indirect. Like maybe you give, like my example is like I when I was really, I think I had like 2,000 TikTok followers and like the growth kind of slowed at like 2,000 for a bit. I was like, oh, interesting. And so I had some friends over and my guides were like, oh yeah, so those big crystals, I had some big crystals on the ledge up on the other side of this room. And they're like, yeah, tell each of the people here that they can grab one of those crystals on the way out. And so I did that, and so they each grabbed a crystal. And it was funny because like it wasn't my intention to give in order to get necessarily. It was just like, okay, I will give those crystals as I'm guided. And then like what happened after I gave those crystals was my TikTok following like doubled. Like I went from like 2,000 to 4,000, and it was like, okay, interesting. It's like when you give, you receive. So one thing they want to keep in mind is sometimes when you're giving out to something or a person or a place or situation, you don't always get back exactly from that place, but you can get from a roundabout place because the universe knows kind of where you need your abundance. And maybe that person isn't the right person or can't give exactly what you need or what you deserve in response to what you gave out, if that makes sense as me. And I'm sure that could be general as well. They do give the message as well, Queen of Swords, be discerning. I feel like this goes, I don't know if you have exes you're dealing with as me, but they're giving this message of be discerning with who you let back into your life with this Queen of Swords is one thing they're saying. They also give the words like be majestic. I also get reasons to celebrate with the Three of Cups. What's that about? I also see travel happening as like in the future as something they're saying as well. I feel like you're gonna be celebrating though, like maybe a month or two, something they're saying. So I would pay attention to celebrations and make sure you're celebrating yourself as well as a side message. I would also stay away from this, which is like conflict, competition with Five of Wands. like you don't need to get into the ditch with people and fight is a weird message. Like you don't need to stoop down to people's lower levels if you feel like they're doing anything underhanded. I would also just kind of avoid drama. That's it, is what I get for you, Esme. Hope that helps. Shay, does my career need to involve animals? I get it doesn't need to, but it's a good idea, is what I hear. Little Moon. So 10 of Pentacles and the Empress popping out here. Literally, like this, the card. I had my deck, and then you asked the question, and this fell away because I was holding it weirdly, and these were the cards that are here with Queen of Pentacles. Which, so honestly, like that's 3 very stable cards showing up for you, Little Moon, regarding your financial situation. I feel like you might have to switch it up a little bit and go a slightly different direction or add on to what you're already doing. But you are going to turn it around, is what I'm hearing. You will have stability and feel more at ease with it. If it's not this year, I feel like it's next year. You'll be able to put that together and get there. And I don't think the message is to quit what you're doing. I feel like it's to expand on it, is one thing they're saying. I would keep praying for guidance, and I would keep setting the intentions for abundance, whatever that means to you, to get the direction, things moving in that direction. Like, for instance, like you could have pyrites, whatever crystals like revolving around abundance means to you, and set that on your work desk. Let's see. I would also like write down like what is abundance to you, and it's totally cool to be fully honest. Like maybe having money is a part of abundance to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Money is a neutral energy is one of the quotes I heard that really shifted things for me. It was a channeling Lee Harris did. But when I heard that, for some reason it clicked things into place between things he said and some other people said. It was like, oh, it's really okay to have money and to be doing well with money. And honestly, it will just allow me to be more generous with what I do, and it. I'm not. I mean, the plan is to be rolling in it eventually, but it's not to do it at anyone's expense ever. It's just to give so much. I mean, you'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's like that allows me to gift crystals. That allows me to do more work for free. It allows me to do more of the things I feel called to do. So I think there's nothing wrong to ask for the money from the universe as well. But any type of abundance meditations or practices worth going through, I'd say, and just like continually showing up with that intention. And one of the things I want to talk about as well regarding abundance is like one time in my life, this was last year, this was 2020, and I just started listening to like Ganesha and Lakshmi mantras. And Ganesha is about removing obstacles and forging a path and success. And Lakshmi is very much about prosperity and abundance and things, and success as well, and business success, things like that. And so I started just like doing things with more intentionality behind them. So it'd be like, okay, when I got in the car, like I didn't normally listen to my music. I'd be like, okay, every day on the way to work, on the way home, I'm blasting the Lakshmi mantra. And I think it was like it was on Apple Music. It was Lakshmi like 108 times. And then I'd have it on repeat. And so like I'd show up, I'd go to work, and I'd come back from work. Like I'd have that. I'd have different things that I'd buy, like even like the golden tarot. Like that's more like gold is a very abundant kind of color. It's very much about prosperity. So like there's the intentionality of like, I'm going to buy the golden tarot because that feels very abundant and prosperous to me. And I'm setting the intention that more prosperity and abundance shows up. On top of this just being like a really cool deck that I really like because I was very drawn to it. Like things like there's little things you can do to start setting the intention for abundance and moving things that direction. And like the universe does listen. And I will say like what I was originally getting to was like little things did happen with like that Lakshmi mantra. Like, okay, I got a $1 an hour raise at work. Sweet. Okay, I don't have to pay as much in rent. Sweet. Okay, that money came out of nowhere. Oh, a gift card from this thing. Sweet. It's like I'd notice those little things and I'd be grateful for it. But like I feel like it wasn't until like a year later when that really like took off. And I feel like I was seeing the results of those prayers like last year, like this year is one thing I'd say. Because it was finally like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually like doing it. I'm doing what I've been wanting to be doing for a while, and it's actually working out. And so that's something I want to say is like your prayers are heard, and it's sometimes there's a ramp up period. It doesn't always have to be that way. It can just show up, but that's one piece of advice they wanted to talk about with just like putting the intentions for abundance out there. I have to keep manifesting and putting more energy. Yeah, for sure. And I would also look at like, I'll recommend this for anyone else that wants to go through it, but there's a course that Lee Harris put out there called Abundance Upshift. And I found my life really, there was a lot of other things I was doing, but as I went, like even just the intentionality of going through a course called Abundance Upshift, and like I found that helpful, and just shifting through different things that were like perhaps hindering abundance as well. I don't know, no affiliation, but if that calls to you, that might be something to look into. I found that was a helpful one for me as well in cultivating more abundance. And I don't think my guides are like, you shouldn't have mentioned it. So I don't know why, but hopefully fix it. Fix it, angels. Cool. So I think I need to end the live because I am hungry and I am just kind of like zoning out here. Yeah, let me see if I can delve into that really quickly, Little Moon. What blocks me or what I should learn for you. The first message they bring through is like, you're good enough. I don't know if there are any beliefs that you're not good enough. There's also the message of like, you deserve abundance. And I know you commented on this a little bit on one of my videos, so we can delve into it a little bit as well. But it was like, it's like realizing you're worthy of it no matter what anyone else in the world is going through. And they want me to give the example, but one thing I realized that I didn't realize was, I guess what some might say, I don't know if it's a limiting belief or what, but I would always constantly, to be vulnerable, one of the things that, like, as I sifted through it, really popped up for me when I went through like abundance was like, it was actually about like relationships and with women, interestingly enough. And it was weird because I'd have this thought where there'd be a girl I'd be interested in. And I saw this more play out at work, and it's something I've worked through here. Like, there'd be a girl I'd be interested in, and then I'd notice, like, oh, there's these other people interested in that girl. And then I'd be like, oh, well, you know, like, oh, that dude's, like, 6'4", and, you know, he seems like he'd be more... in my mind, I knew that was total BS. What was like where these thoughts were, where it was like, oh, they should probably get the girl, or oh, I'm like, wait, hold on a second, where's that coming from? Because it's like, oh, they're taller, oh, they're more this, oh, they seem more like that, and I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe I should just hold off. And it wasn't like a conscious, it was something I was aware of that was coming up, that I was observing. I was like, why is that my thought every time I want to go towards this person? And so it was like something I had to work through. It was like, oh yeah, I'm worthy of that. Oh yeah, like maybe that other person isn't the best option. Or oh, maybe like holding myself back from something I want because I don't want someone else to feel bad. Because that's what it was as well. It's like, oh, well, this person, like if I start dating this person and I really like them, and then how's this person gonna feel when they see like, oh, that option's off the table for them, and oh, like it was like a weird thing like that. It was like I had to work through that. Because it was like, hang on a second, like I know, I don't know, just through what a lot of other people tell me, like I'm good in relationships, and like it's not like I'm not like gonna treat people badly, I'm not gonna like do bad things, and it's like I'm worthy of that even if someone else, like there's plenty of fish in the sea for that other person. Like it was something I had to wrap my head around. So like that can apply to different areas like money, where it's like, oh, like this person doesn't have that, or how's my aunt gonna feel if I get rich? And then all of a sudden, like that relationship changes. So like it was beliefs like that really there was things like that would pop up for me that I had to shift, as well as just like viewpoints on money. Like it's like, for instance, like I don't feel like like there's a lot of stuff out there like rich people are inherently evil. I get no, like they're not. Like here's the thing I was sitting with last night. Interestingly enough, I was like, you know, like. Every time I think about like, I don't think about it a lot, but when I do think about like Jeff Bezos, like the super rich Amazon dude, it's like I always get, he's not like a bad person. Like he's not a bad person. He's really rich. But if a lot of people, I feel like if they sat down with some of these people, not all, like there, of course there's good and there's bad with any level of wealth or whatever. It's not really the wealth that makes them good or bad. But if you sat down with some of these people and like you didn't know who they were, you didn't know they had wealth, and like it was just like you just had a passing encounter where you talked about something you really connected on, like I don't know, sports or something else, like you'd probably kind of like them. It's like as long as that like heart like if it was more like a heart-centered connection, if it wasn't like butting heads about political beliefs or something else, like you might actually like aspects of them as people, or like some of those people as people. So it's like, it's not necessarily that they're bad people. I think they get painted in a bad light because like people see someone doing really well and they see that they're not, and they've seen some of the examples that are bad out there, or not quite highest aligned, you could say, and then they go like, oh, screw rich people, I have to suffer, and they just like live this easy life. Not always true, by the way, but sometimes just like wrapping our beliefs around wealth a little bit differently, where it's not like money is bad and people who have money are bad, because then it's like, what are you like, there's a bit of a cognitive dissonance if you want money, but you think money's bad and people who have it are bad, because then you're going to try to move towards money, but you're like, oh, I'm bad if I want money. And it's like, it's this whole dance. So like those things like money is a neutral energy, like it's not good or bad. Like money amplifies who you are. It doesn't necessarily make you good or bad. Like money allows you to do more good in the world. Like you could pick up a beach by yourself, or you could hire 50 people to help pick up trash from a beach. Or some of the examples I heard where I just felt things shifting in me when I like processed those things. I don't know. I don't know if that helps anyone else out there while we're talking about it. That's just something I heard. Sorry, that's something I feel called to say about money beliefs that I felt have helped me shift a bit about it. And maybe that will help you guys as well. But that's things I've picked up from different people that I felt helped me shift things. Yeah, being worthy and to truly let that sink deep is so difficult. Yeah, and sometimes you have to look at like childhood stuff as well. It's like, how did my parents treat me? And like, what did my parents teach me about money? Or what did prominent figures, what did the people around me say about money? It's like you're starting to observe those like patterns, and like, or like worthiness, like is it rooted in money, or is it worthiness about like deserving good things? It's like these things can be a little bit like, the root might not be exactly where you think it is, but it's nearby. Does that make sense? Is something I'm hearing as well. So I don't know. That's, hopefully that helps someone that's listening. Yeah, I'm not trying to call anyone out. Yeah, where shadow work comes in. Yeah, just like, yeah, and just examining like, where did I get that belief? And like, where did this start coming from? And just starting to rework things to get things more aligned. And sometimes getting it out in front of you and just seeing it and allowing things to shift is like, it just starts moving things in that direction, is what I'd say as well. What's your question, soul frequency? Because this is, I'll S or K? S, they say the first one, S. That's what they're saying, between S or K. Yeah, yeah, and I know you say you have a long path out. I don't think it's as bad as you think. I think, once you start unearthing things, and you have, I think it gets easier, because it's like, the work isn't so much about always being like dark and dreary and like, it's more just like rearranging things in like the patterns and pathways that will be of service to you instead of hindrance. So it can be a bit of a transformation, is pretty much what they're saying. Thanks, Rose, or thanks for soul frequency for the rose. Okay, I need more water. You're welcome, Little Moon. It's funny doing a more scaled down live with like 50 people instead of like 100 or like 80 or 150. Oh, thanks, Little Moon. Yeah, I hope that helps. You deserve wealth. You definitely deserve wealth. Yeah, I do need to go eat. Hey, I am Molly. So I'm low on battery. I need to eat. I am starting to feel a bit like, but this was fun. I'm glad we got to do a little bit of a hangout here. I think next Sunday, let's see, probably going to do more Q&A. I'm going to separate like hangouts from Q&As a little bit more. So will I go live tomorrow? I might go live tomorrow, Monday, just to hang out, and I don't expect that to be a huge, crazy live, but I think that'll be fun just to hang out. And then Sunday will be Q and Channel to A, and maybe I'll do a general reading as well halfway through the week as well for lives, and just do some general stuff for everybody. So yeah, I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Oh man, it was definitely fun doing this. I'm always grateful to get to do the lives for you guys and the channel for you guys. I'm always grateful for you and the beautiful souls that show up, because there's a lot of good people here. I know it, and they say it. They just said it. So good to see you feeling black and white. It was nice to hang out with you too. So I'll figure out what the heck I'm doing with lives, and you guys will see it play out, I'm sure. And then I'll sit with this channeling class that everyone was asking about, and then we'll see where everything goes. But have a beautiful Sunday, guys. I'll see you, if not sometime this week, I'll see you next week for sure. So have a beautiful day.